Morning show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, that's KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app. Available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning.
Good morning. God dang, with these colors. The last few days, the colors on the screener have been such a light color. They blur in with the gray background, and this man can't read it.
If I had the power to change that, I would.
I'm not blaming you. William Adkins of Oolaga got qualified for Harley Days of May. Every hour, we play a cue on Thursdays. Every hour, even Mel and DC. So be listening for your chance to get qualified for a chance to win the 100th anniversary Harley-Davidson Dyno Wide Glide from Steel Horse Motorcycles, which is inside Oklahoma Outdoor World, just off Route 66 in Sapulpa.
Rock and roll!
Every hour, so make sure you're listening. We've got tickets to see Shinedown. They're going to be over in Arkansas on October 5th over at Rogers at the Walmart Amphitheater. Tickets available at waltonartcenter.org. We'll see what Gimpy wants to talk about. We'll talk Brewers baseball, Conspiracy Theory Thursday. We got Top List, and Handlebars Hot Rods is this weekend, so we're going to talk with Rick, our friend from Cancer Sucks. I don't normally start the show this way, but I'm going to let Lindsay choose. Your choices are what or huh. What?
They both sound
or
exciting.
Huh.
What?
Okay.
This person has worked at this West Memphis, Arkansas KFC, Loretta, for 47 years.
Damn.
Good on her.
What? Good on her.
Yeah.
That's dedication. I hope she's
Funny
getting more
thing-
than minimum wage.
Doubtful. Funny thing about dedication. There's a fine line between dedication and options.
Or just settling. Yeah.
So, or calluses.
She knows too much. She can't leave.
Sure.
She knows all 7 spices and herbs.
Yes.
You know the secret. You may never leave.
She was recently recognized for her hard work, commitment, and passion for serving others. The company is honoring her with
A bucket of chicken?
a pizza party. No, just kidding. It's more than we get. With her newly created Loretta Neely Drive and Passion Award. Why not just call it the Loretta Neely Award?
Right.
So then you have to tell the story about her drive and passion rather than the Drive and Passion Award, Loretta Neely.
Right. That way they don't have to explain anything.
Sure.
This is all right there in the title.
Yeah.
In retirement, she plans to spend time traveling and being with her family and church.
And never smelling another piece of fried chicken.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, listen to this. This is so good. Before joining up with KFC 5 decades ago, she worked in the cotton fields. But she says her prayers were answered when she got the job at the restaurant the same year she and her husband got married. She says it's her dedication to serving others and her passion for the job that kept her going. She has come to enjoying working with people, helping them develop their talents, and ensuring their success. Upon learning of her retirement plans, the managers and corporate leadership promptly celebrated her, recognized her passion and strong work ethic. In her honor, the company created the Loretta Neely Drive and Passion Award, which they will deem the Living Legend Award.
So, when she dies, do you think they're going to throw her a KFC themed? Have to look like a bucket of KFC chicken, or probably like the biscuit box, more likely.
No, if she's cremated, her urn will be the bucket.
I don't know how big she is. That feels kind of presumptuous. It's
No.
probably more of one of the mashed potatoes or mac and cheese containers.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Yes, definitely.
So I know this employee, not this specific employee, but I know this employee. I worked in fast food. I worked in pizza places. And there was that one person who was much older than everybody, and they worked the same shift. And managers would come in and try and do the thing, whatever. And they'd be like, nope, I only work Thursdays, 11 to 1 or
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's this lady.
Probably, more than likely, yeah.
So the number of managers she saw come and go
Oh,
in
geez.
nearly 5 decades.
Yeah.
And each time she was like, I've been here longer than you. I'll be here after you're gone. I know this employee.
So she's there for 40 years, right?
47.
47 years, nearly 50 years. And she stayed a lackey in those 50 years, meaning she never moved up to shift leader, assistant manager, general manager, region. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Move up the chain. She just stayed as a regular counter employee.
Couple things. One, not everybody wants to be a manager.
True that, but I mean, that's where the pay's at when
Two-
it comes to fast food.
Two, I'm also not familiar with the hierarchy of KFC.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, I don't know how it works.
I mean,
I don't think it's Quick Trip, right? I don't think they want you to go through the motions to become a leader there.
No, that's typically what every fast food restaurant is. I've worked in several of them, and it's always you start off as the lackey, either in the kitchen or serving or whatever, and then you're like, oh, you do good, you've done good, we want to promote you to shift leader, and then from shift leader, all right, you've done great, let's move you to assistant manager, so on and so forth and such as. So I mean, it could be different, I highly doubt it, but
Yeah, I don't know. You're probably right. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I don't know what the hierarchy is.
maybe you may be right. Maybe she never wanted to. She's like, I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I'm happy working my minimum wage, getting that
I work
pay-
Thursdays 11 to 1.
Right.
That's it.
I work Thursdays 11 to 1.
That's all she can say.
Yeah.
That and welcome to KFC. Can I help you?
I work Thursdays 11 to 1. I'm telling you, I know this employee.
Yeah.
I work my schedule. I work from 9 until 2.
Right.
Mhm.
Full stop.
Mhm.
Monday through Friday. We're going to need you to. Nope. I work Monday through Friday,
Right.
9 to 2.
Right.
And I'll do it for 47 years.
Yeah.
You can count on that.
New manager comes in. The GM's like, all right, so this is Loretta. She's been here 37 years or whatever.
Yes.
Just schedule her 9 to 2 and she won't be a problem.
Right.
If you try to schedule her 8 to 1
You are in for a whirl.
and she has to have her 45-minute lunch.
Right. Oh, I thought it was only 30 minutes.
Yeah, she's been here. It was 45 when she started. It's
Right.
just, trust me,
She's
it's easier.
grandfathered in or
Yeah.
grandmothered in, I guess you could say.
She had a little trouble learning the new registers.
Right. It went from ka-chink to, where's that biscuit button again?
Yeah.
She shows up every day. I never worry if she's never been sick. I'm just saying, I know this employee.
That's
Mhm.
fun.
I mean, again, I don't know her, but there's like one employee like this, 6 pizza places I've worked at in my life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That they've,
Oh,
that they've
oh, yeah.
just been there a long time. They don't cause any trouble other than I work 9 to 2.
That's it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And maybe there's some sort of adult, adult, disability. Who knows? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But I know employees like this. I've worked with the people that are like, nope, I only make pizza dough.
Right. Right.
I come in, I make pizza dough, I leave.
Mhm.
Hey, we're going to need you to, make breadsticks. I come in,
Mhm.
I make pizza dough, I leave.
Hmm.
Not that I worked with that person.
Get you shred some cheese before you go.
I make pizza dough and I leave. Yeah,
Kudos to her for staying there for so long throughout all the ups and downs of the economy and turnovers as it is when it comes to fast food anyway.
yeah.
Good for her. Good for her.
I've said this before. You go and get KFC
Mm.
or whatever fast food. Nobody's like, I'm going to be the best KFC employee ever. We now have the asterisk.
Yeah.
Right.
There's
Hey.
Loretta.
She may not have been the best KFC employee ever. I mean, you're there for 47 years. They could either A, not wanted to hire anybody else, B, just like, she's been here for so long. Let's just keep her here because we don't want her coming in shooting the place up. Or she just settled, whatever it is. Maybe she was. Maybe she's a star chicken fryer. I don't know. But good for her.
I just do the register from 9 to 2.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't fry chicken.
Right.
I don't unpackage frozen chicken. I don't do that. I don't know how to make chicken there. I don't know if it's frozen, already breaded.
No, they bred it there in the house. I had some friends there that used to work there. My brother used to work at the KFC. This is out in Owasso. And there was one night, I'm not going to lie. We were all hanging out. And then after closing time, we hired a stripper to come up and dance for us inside the KFC. It was probably the most bizarre thing I've ever witnessed. And the stripper herself even said, I've never danced inside of a KFC before.
How did you get away with that? Because there's pretty much glass all the way
How
around.
you do in the kitchen where there's nobody,
It
there's no
feels
glass.
so slippery.
Yeah, it does.
Kitchen floors and fast food joints are slippery.
Especially that place, super greasy. But you scrub the floors real good, make sure that you don't have any grease on there so they're not slipping and sliding. And she's like, so what do you want to do here? We're like, we're all stupid teenagers. I don't know. You get up there. Here's a chair. Let her dance on you. Okay.
Where'd you get the money for that? And two, I'm sure she was high quality.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this stripper probably a solid 4.5. Yeah. So far as the money, I didn't pay for it. It was the other employees there. I was just there hanging out with the employees because I happened to be friends with them. You know what I mean? So
Ones that had jobs.
good times. I had a job, sucker.
Oh.
It says, this text came in, been here 20 years. See how they treat managers? I have no desire to move up. No, that's true too.
Yeah.
That's true. First of all, leading people sucks. It's so hard dealing with multiple personalities, babysitting, whatever phrase you want to put on it. It's not easy. This one says, I've been at the same company for 2 years and have traveled out of town all the time. Last year, I was gone for 8 months out of the year and have not gotten a raise. I've trained 6 people and fixing to train 3 more and have not gotten a raise when asked for it. Yeah. Well, you've only got 45 years more of passion and dedication to display.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but did you die?
Right.
Which do you think is harder? This person training people how to make sprockets, whatever it is they do, or working the register from 9 to 2, Monday through Friday?
I'd have to say working the register 9 to 2, Monday through Friday. Training people ain't that bad. You don't have to do anything but just show them how to do it. And then keep them in the lines when, it's their turn to take the wheel.
Working the register, we read a lot of stories in our news quickies about the disgruntled customers.
Totally.
That are like, you
I didn't get
forgot my ketchup.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, let me go get my gun and I'm going to come back in here.
I said seasoned fries.
Yes. What's taking so long? Why are there pickles on my burger?
Yeah, no thanks. I would hate to work a register. Training people ain't fun either.
No, but
because indubitably you'll get the guy who's the son of the owner or the cousin of the owner, and they're like, I don't have to do any of this. I'm just doing this because my uncle said I got to, so I can be X, Y, Z.
And your uncle said to listen to me, so you better do as I say.
Yeah, but I don't have to because I'm going to be your boss in a week.
No, you won't. You're fired.
You're training me. You can't fire me.
I just did.
No, you can't.
I'm training you. I'm the manager, goddammit. I just did.
I don't think trainers can fire people. I don't think managers can fire people.
That's their job.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, it is in a corporate environment with you can't just fire people on a whim.
No, you have to have a reasoning for them. And if they're being belligerent and they're not wanting to do the work because they feel they're entitled, then you can fire them.
No, you can't.
Pause. Oklahoma's an at-will state. I can fire you just because it's Tuesday.
Sure, let me rephrase. You don't want to open yourself to litigation.
Okay.
Right? And corporations have to keep documentation. Sure, you're right. It is an at-will state. You can fire people because the day ends in Y.
Right.
But that doesn't mean you are not free from being sued for wrongful termination.
Right. And then you go back. All right. You explain to your lawyers or whatever. You're like, hey, yeah, this guy didn't want to do the work at all whatsoever. He keeps giving me pushback and feels like he's entitled because his uncle works here and got him the job. That's not how we roll, bro.
Yeah, it just doesn't work that way, man. It just
feel
doesn't.
You're wrong.
I think a
but-
manager.
As someone who's been in management and leadership,
Mhm.
it don't work that way.
Okay, I have too in the fast food industry, and I've fired people as a manager.
It don't work that way, man.
Because I can.
Yeah, it don't work that. You don't get to use your ego as a reason to fire people.
No, you have good reasons. Oh, you're not doing your job. You're not doing your job the way you're supposed to be doing. You're not doing your job efficiently.
Yeah, did you work with them on trying to how to get better?
Absolutely.
But
And
you said you're fired. You didn't say, well, we got to keep working on it.
Yeah, you tried a couple of times. You do as you're supposed to as a good manager, but it does not working out. You're like, hey, dude, this isn't working out. You're going to have to go.
Yeah. Mm. All I know is, at least in this company, you got to be on probation.
Yeah, you're probably right here. I'm just going with my own basic experience.
And other companies that I know people that are managers, you got to be on probation.
Right.
I know people have shown up drunk and high. I know people to nod off on the air and not get fired. So I don't want to hear you just can fire people.
Yeah, well, I guess the leniency in the management is where it's at on that one.
All right, we got to take a break. We got tickets to Shinedown with Papa Roach. They're going to be at the Walmart Amphitheater. Tickets available at waltonartscenter.org. We'll see what Gimpy wants to talk about. Mike Malega will join us, talk Drillers baseball. I got a cool conspiracy theory we're going to do later. We've got Top List. Rick Horton's going to join us, and more qualifying for Harley Days of May.
You're listening to the Big Mad Morning.
So I don't know if maybe he was somebody of some sort of brain disorder or on the spectrum or something that made him, according to the news report, gullible.
Okay, yeah. Maybe just one of those lonely dudes, and this was the hot chick in high school. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Megan wants me now?
Yeah.
Well, Megan's, 45 right now and has got 6 kids and a drinking problem, but
meth problem.
a meth problem. And but it's okay because he remembers teenage Megan. And he's like, well, I'm gonna get me some of that.
Yeah.
Finally, I get to touch my unicorn. And well, they left you naked in your driveway.
Yeah.
On the upside of that, at least they dumped him in his driveway and not, I don't know, traveling down the highway.
The police report said they threw him out of the car in his driveway with like a bag of garbage. That's what the report said.
Like a bag of garbage or with a bag of
Like
garbage?
a bag of garbage.
Okay. Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
But he's alive and he is at his house.
All right. The proverbial question.
Uh-huh.
How many days off does he get after being kidnapped, tortured, thrown in his driveway like a bag of garbage? How many days off do you get from something like that? These are bonus days. You're not using vacation or sick days.
We're just going to go ahead and give you some time off to recoup.
Yeah, we as a company empathize with that crazy situation.
Mm-hmm.
You get some days off to recover. That happened on a Friday, the 21st of last Friday. Lindsay.
So, does he have wounds? Like when we say he's tortured?
Irrelevant.
Let's not ask questions.
Well, give him.
How many days does he get off? He's been robbed. He's been abused.
Tortured, kidnapped, robbed, trust defiled.
Mm-hmm.
How many days?
I want to give him 2 weeks.
Okay. Because?
Especially if he's got wounds on him, I want to let him heal up. You know what I mean? Like if he's got some bruising on his face, things
Bruising's
like that.
3 days.
Bruising isn't going to cause anybody else at work to get, some kind of infectious disease if he has one.
No, that's true. I'll stick with
2
2
weeks. Okay, Gimpy.
Good Lord, that's a lot of 2 days. 2 days. That happened on a Friday. You get Saturday, Sunday. I'll give you Monday and Tuesday. You bring your ass back to work on Wednesday. And if you've got gashes all over yourself, put some goddamn butterfly stitches on that thing and get your ass back to work.
Take as long as you need. You're damaged goods now. If I get you back, you're hardly going to be the person. Whether you get 2 weeks or you're back on Monday, it's going to take a week for you to quell the office chatter.
Right.
So you're damaged goods. You're not coming back the same person.
Oh, no.
You're not going to remember whatever project you were working on. Forget about it.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll do the right thing. Take as long as you want, but let's start hiring the replacement.
Oh, okay.
He's done.
Okay.
You're done.
What if he comes back from work, right, after his week, 2 weeks, however long he needs, and things are a little shaky there for, let's just say, like a week? That seems natural. but everything's back to normal that week after. Are you still firing that guy?
I didn't say fire.
Well, what are you gonna do? How else are you gonna get rid? You gonna lay him off?
You let life work itself out.
Let him quit?
Yeah, he'll quit on his own.
Maybe.
You still give him work. You still treat him as if he's an employee. You
Absolutely.
Everything stays the same.
Absolutely.
But he is not the same employee, right? He experienced an incredibly traumatic event.
Yes. And maybe working where he works, doing what he does is his outlet to kind of get over things. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes when
this ain't your team lost. This isn't you broke your arm.
Yeah, you were.
It is one of the most traumatic events human beings can go through is being kidnapped and tortured.
That is very true. That is very
true. Mr. No Days.
But everybody works through things differently.
Sure.
Some people need therapy. Some people just need to keep busy.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So maybe so what you're gonna do is you're gonna let this cat go so he can drive himself crazy.
I'm not gonna let him go.
All right. Go down the meth aisle with his new girlfriend Megan. All right.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, he's committed suicide and hung himself in the garage because I
don't know what that has to do with me. No, that has zero to do with me. I'm saying I have a responsibility as a company to make sure everybody's doing their job. And he can come back. We'll treat him as family. He'll stay on insurance. We'll give him projects. Everything will stay the same. But to have the expectation that he's going to be the same employee is not realistic. And that is what I'm saying.
I understand there's going to be some differences, but deep down inside, if that's what he needs to heal, then you keep on keeping on. I'm not hiring. I'm not looking for the new hire immediately.
He is going to be a drip at the company picnic.
Oh, yeah.
Do not ask him to play laser tag or just tag or capture the flag.
Don't even say the word capture around him.
Don't do the ropes course with him.
Right.
Trust fall?
No. Trust any of you bitches.
No.
He's going to want to move to another state and start a whole new life.
Yes.
Well, maybe.
Yeah, let it work itself out, but you have a responsibility to your customers. And as a manager of a business, we got to move forward. We can't let somebody hang on to the back of the train as it's pulling away from the station. Give him all those resources he needs. Let him continue to get a check.
Right. All right. Listen.
Put him in a basement. Take his red set. Whatever that looks like for you.
Right.
All these stories are on our Facebook page. No days off.
I said 2.
No, you said the weekend, which he already gets.
No, I said I'll give you 2 days. That you've got Friday and Saturday, so I'll give you Monday and Tuesday.
You get Saturday and Sunday off.
Exactly. So you've got 4 days.
So you gave no days off.
I gave him Monday and Tuesday off.
No, you said back on Monday.
No, I said back on Wednesday. I said you got you got Saturday and Sunday already off. All right, so I'll give you Monday and Tuesday back to work on Wednesday.
Let's start in the middle of the week.
Bitch.
Yeah.
Oh. Listen, I've got a business to run, Corbin.
That's what I'm saying. I hear people all the time say that this isn't fair. Life isn't fair. It's not fair for me. It's not fair for what I want to do. I hear that all the time. And I'm going to tell you a story right now where you don't get to say that anymore.
Okay.
All right.
There is a country on this planet where the government makes them have a quota of collecting their own feces.
Why? Why is
for
that
fertilizer?
Okay.
And as quotas go, they tend to grow every year.
You haven't crapped enough this year.
And
you need to put out some more.
And it's such a problem, the quota and the unreachability for maybe you're not having enough fiber in your diet, that you end up stealing crap from your neighbors so you can meet your quota. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. News quickies are stories you may have missed in the news. We cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page if you want more. Facebook.com/BMMS69.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Mad Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Man steals thousands in merchandise with a ticket switching scheme. So, over an 18-month span, starting back in December of 2020, Aaron Hoster, 51 years old, targeted various Home Depots in Maine where he scraped the price code off items under $30 and slapped the codes on more expensive power tools, costing up to like $1,200. He then made a beeline for self-checkout with higher valued tools and paid the lower price. He's facing wire fraud and attempted wire fraud charges. He's accused of making off with thousands of dollars he should have forked over to the mega chain, according to the complaint that was unsealed on May 3rd. So in one case, the Fed said he put a $37.50 price tag from a generator adapter on a Honda generator that cost $1,300. Store footage shows it shows Hoster exiting the store with items much larger than the item recorded on the receipt as being purchased. The agent on the case wrote in the complaint, Hoster also allegedly carried out the same scheme in Maryland and also in Pennsylvania. He was arrested in Maryland on state charges and later pleaded in November of 22. He had no jail time there. He was released from jail back in March. 3 days later, he tried his ticket switching scheme at a Home Depot in Maine, but fled without the goods when confronted by store personnel. He was held without bail on Friday by a federal judge. He's facing up to 20 years in prison if convicted of wire fraud and could be slapped with a fine of $250,000. When I sold shoes at a department store, we had a woman that used to do this.
I did this in college all the time. When there was actual price tags on things.
Yeah. So we would have price tags on the bottom of the shoes that were on display.
Yeah.
And she would bring up the shoe, obviously, to say, hey, can you get this for me in a size such and such? And one of the girls that was training me at the time, she'd go, watch this woman. She comes in, she would tell me every time what she does. I'm like, okay. So when she would purchase the shoe, we'd ring it up and she'd go, oh, well, that's not what the price tag says on display. And we'd be like, well, someone must have switched it because it rings up. Well, shouldn't it be the price that's on the display shoe? Well, you'll have to take that up with the manager. And I think it passed like one or two times. And then as it became a pattern, the manager said, I'm sorry, we've done it for you before, but we can't do it for you anymore.
I'm just not sure how it works at Home Depot because everything's UPC scanned.
Yeah.
Right. So you have to careful. I mean, it's already imprinted into the
Yeah,
box,
usually,
package,
right?
Whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Very rarely do you see like stickers anymore at all whatsoever. It's probably for that reason.
Not at chains, at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't. So I'm curious how they did that. But probably this is an example of we talked about before. They worked the case for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Loss prevention didn't chase them down or whatever. They just documented and submitted and built a case.
Yeah.
And then finally popped the guy.
Yeah.
So how many years is he looking at, Lindsay?
He's looking at, I believe it said 10 years.
Okay. And $200,000.
20, up to 20 years.
20 years and a
Mhm.
$200,000 fine. Good Lord.
That feels excessive.
20 years?
Yeah.
Did it say in there how long he'd been doing it again?
Since 2020.
Oh, okay. So this has only been going on
18
for
months.
18 months. Yeah, I feel maybe 20 years is a little excessive.
I mean,
5 to 10 possibly.
He'll probably get like 5 years.
Right. Get it knocked down quite a bit.
Keep in mind the guy who was in jail for admitting for killing or kidnapping those Welch girls is already getting out.
All right.
He would have been doing 23 years.
Right.
Should that be the same punishment for switching price tags on a power generator?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so, man.
Mm,
Not okay. He should be punished for sure.
yeah.
And or maybe this other one should be a bigger punishment. But either way, they should not be equal.
Maybe that's the standard punishment for wire fraud because wire fraud can mean a lot of different things.
Yeah.
This just happens to fall under it. It's a very minimal end of wire fraud, but it's the title. So that's the sentence you're getting.
Is society or Home Depot made a giant contribution to the DA's election fund?
Yeah, right.
Is society better because this guy's locked up for 20 years?
No,
because somebody else is going to do it.
Yeah, because they've published the story on how to do it.
Mm-hmm. Somerset Gimp arrested after terrorizing neighborhood.
You're not from Somerset, are you?
Not originally. So this happens in the UK in a town of Somerset, where since 2016, police have gotten like some 20 something calls on a man in a rubber gimp suit that's just running around chasing people, grunting at them.
Nice. Nice.
So they come out and they're like, well, we don't see any man in a rubber suit. So they go on about their business. And they've been dealing with this for a while. Well, finally, just the other day, just after midnight, a guy in his 30s named Josh Hunt. I don't know if he's related to Mike or not, but he goes and he jumps in front of this car wearing the rubber gimp suit. And he yells at the lady in the car and she calls the police. And they come to the area and when they finally spot him, they see the man in the rubber suit, the gimp, and they finally nab him. Like I said, his name is Josh Hunt. They took him in arrested on suspicion of causing public nuisance. They didn't give any kind of, length of time or anything like that, but he's supposed to go to court and be punished. But finally got the gimp off the streets.
I wish there was audio of him and his grunts.
Yeah, there it is. Here it is. Woogie boogie. Woogie boogie boogie boogie. Woogie boogie. Woogie boogie boogie boogie. Woogie boogie. Do you know the movie?
I don't.
Come on.
Missing out, lady.
There you are.
Which movie is it?
Yeah. Oklahoma man faces charges after Epcot incident.
Ooh.
So a man from Oklahoma is facing assault charges for an incident that happened at Disney World in February. Authorities in Orange County, Florida, say park employees found Patrick Delhanty of Coweta drunk and laying on the ground in front of Epcot. And we're
National Beer Garden.
And hold on, just wait. And we're trying to get him a wheelchair when he became aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
According to officers, the man allegedly swung a stanchion, which is those posts that hold the queue lines, the retractable.
Okay. Yeah.
So he allegedly swung one at an employee, but it was connected to another one, so he couldn't swing it very far.
You dumbass.
So awesome. Tried to hit them in the face and in hand. He took off his shirt and then ran to Mexico. Now, this is where the story should have been clear. He ran to the Mexico of Epcot.
Yes.
He's so drunk, he's like, I can't go to jail. I'm going to flee to Mexico. Oh, look. Hey,
He fled to Mexico. I'm going to get that was an important across. Police showed up. Of course, they arrested him and he went to the drunk tank the next morning. They interviewed him and he had no recollection of the incident the next day.
Gee, you think?
He has pled not guilty to charges.
Sir, we got you on tape swinging the stand at people.
We know Gimpy hasn't.
Mhm.
It was a long time ago when I went. So Lindsay's the most recent person to go. Did you go to Epcot?
Oh, yeah.
How much is a beer? Do you recall?
Well, when we went to Germany for their beer, we got the biggest.
In Epcot.
Yeah, in
Okay.
Epcot. I believe it was around $16.
Damn. For like how big a beer are we talking about? Probably 12 ounces?
Yeah. at
8
least.
ouncer maybe?
Yeah, so it says anywhere $10 to $13, depending on the
Yeah.
country you're in. And the guy doesn't look like a tiny guy. Like, how much beer did he drink?
Yeah, that's
assuming that's what he had. Did they
Yeah.
have mixed drinks
oh,
and
yeah.
stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can get wine, you can get anything at Epcot. That's why people go to Epcot, is because that's where you go to drink.
I mean,
to get alcohol.
it feels like a really expensive admission price to drink,
Mhm.
Yeah.
much less I feel like there are cheaper options.
Yes.
I think that's more of like we've got to medicate people who bring people here
Yeah.
He had to drink at least, a couple $100 worth of beers.
to the point of stumbling, like
Yeah.
not
Oh, yeah.
stumbling, passing out.
Blacking
Yeah.
out and not remembering anything.
Right. That's not, I got drunk at Epcot.
Mhm.
Right.
That's, I went all out at Epcot and all I got were these handcuffs.
Yeah.
Local boy making us proud.
Way
to go, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, all these stories are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/BMMS69.
You're listening.
Any more?
Yeah. I get that.
Do not bring it up at all if your husband or wife does poop research.
No.
Not a fun dinner.
No, because that's where everybody
Topic.
gathers around the table and talks about their day and how it was. And yeah, you can't do that if you're a poop expert.
Lindsay, do you have friends that do like plumbing or drywall work.
Yeah,
And when you need plumbing or drywall work, you call them, right?
of course. Of course.
Do not call him about our poop, please.
Right. Exactly.
Hey, Jim,
Yeah.
you're an expert in the poops, huh?
Honey, my tum-tum isn't right. Call Jim.
Right.
I'm not calling Jim again.
Again.
He does not want to hear about my poop problems.
Sure, he does. He deals with it every day.
That's the conversation you have with people that do drywall,
Right,
Yeah.
electrical work,
They're professionals.
car repair.
Mhm.
He does it every day. He does not mind. Y'all had a show some time ago about well-endowed men who have trouble with the dating scene because of their genetic disposition. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to catch the whole show. Well, I'm not sure how to ask this, but are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversations. What are my choices?
What is going on here? Are they trying to get us to hook them up with a big dong man or
I
what?
don't know. I don't know if it's a man or woman.
Okay.
Right?
Is this person trying to get us to hook them up with somebody with a huge schlong? I don't, yeah.
It's conversations like this that create an illusion
Mhm.
that every woman wants a gigantic dong. Vaginas are all different.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Some, that's terrifying.
Right.
Some, that sounds exciting.
Right. Some, that's not even big enough.
Yeah. I have never thought if there is a website for women to go to find men that are well endowed. Now that we've said it aloud, I'm sure there's one.
Well, there has to be. They've got one for farmers, and Christian singles.
Sure.
Why can't they have one? It's
Spoiler, those are all the same databases.
What?
Yeah.
Big dong dating.
And I'm sure there's one for this, but do like guys who like bolt-ons
Right.
breasts, is there a website for fake boobs, like only dating girls with fake breasts?
I feel like there probably is, but also I feel like that might be something in a profile, like on a dating app, like a question, like, do you prefer real or fake boobs? Or, you know what I mean?
I would know. I've never filled any
Me
one of those
either.
out, but that doesn't, you fill that out on a dating app. I don't take a lot of credibility with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're on a site as looking for a partner and the website is fakeboobsforyou.com, then you better have big old bolt-ons, right? Same way for girls looking for guys with well-endowed junk.
Yeah.
If that's on, like, every guy's going to put that in his profile.
Right.
But if you're on a website of Tubuku, you better be.
Right.
I don't go to the chicken restaurant and order a hamburger.
Yeah. Do you have to upload measurements to be on these websites?
If they exist, I don't even know.
Right.
So far, I just simply Googled website for men who want to only date women with fake breasts. That seems pretty simple and plain Jane, right?
Okay.
Haven't found anything yet. Haven't found anything yet. A lot of, these are the 28 best things to know before getting a boob job, or the 10 best dating apps, blah, 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 blah. But nothing in here, fakeboobsonly.com.
Okay. I Googled double D dating website.
Was double spelled out, or you just put two big D's on there?
No, I wrote double D dating website, and there isn't one. One does not come up.
Yeah. I honestly don't think that there are websites that get that specific.
Yeah. On our trademark. On our trademark.
Yeah, absolutely, there needs to be.
People are vain.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So my whole thing, if that was my company, is that you'd have to do that across the board. So if you're going to have, doubleddating.com, then you got to have, tubuku.com.
Right. 9 inches or more.com.
Yeah. If whatever that
Whatever
is.
it is, yeah. I'm almost afraid to type that in.
Just like people are into feet. Like there should be a website that if you want to date someone who loves dealing with feet as a woman and you're comfortable, like there are people that's that rowboat has 2 oars,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What did you find?
Is there one?
Fatu. It says foot fetish dating platform. Feet worship and femdom chat. Fetish sex dating, the online kink community.
Yeah, I mean,
there's. I was just looking for dating sites
I guess,
about foot fetishes.
I guess that'd be a subgenre of BDSM, right? So
yeah, sure. Footfetishdating.com. Click. Footfetishmatch.com. So they do have websites that will get down into it in certain aspects in certain areas. Giant schlongs or mega boob isn't one of them, but feet. Why?
Lindsay, I'm not going to read the whole thing, but basically they want to know, are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversation. For the record, if you write that in there, I know you're not. Just saying, because if you were, you'd say something intelligent.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lindsay? How do you find a well-endowed man or person?
I don't know.
Oh, your
I
poor
mean,
husband.
I would say I found mine. I'm not looking.
Too late.
Yeah.
All right. What's done is done.
So I would say maybe join a matchmaker.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. We're qualifying for Harley Days of May in about 10 minutes. Every hour today, Mel and DC, every hour as well. Make sure you're listening for that cue. Do that on Thursdays for Harley Days of May from Steel Horse Motorcycles. We'll get to Lindsay and Balls to the Wall Sports in a second. And a listener texted this in, and I saw it yesterday. Bo Jackson, one of my favorite athletes of all time. I read the book Bo knows. I had the Bo poster on my wall. Like, I was a giant fan of Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Especially since he played for the Kansas City Royals, despite him playing for the Raiders, but he was a stud, man. And one of my favorite memories is going to a game and watching him break a bat over his knee. Videos of him climbing the wall, like running up the wall out, and he tore part of the wall when he did it, and they left it there for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, he a stud, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, he has been living with hiccups for a year.
Well, that sucks. Hiccups for like an hour sucks.
And apparently,
sorry, I was going to say hiccups for 2 minutes sucks.
And apparently, he, according to a listener, he even tried to sniff a porcupine's butt to get rid of the hiccups. And he will have to go through a medical procedure to try and get relief from it. And that kind of thing, I think, will drive you mad. There are people that get tendinitis, which is ringing in the ears, and it gets so bad that they kill themselves.
Yeah.
Right. Tinnitus.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tendinitis is a totally different thing. But yeah, absolutely. A couple questions there. One, if somebody suggests you should smell the ass of a porcupine to get rid of your hiccups, do you do it?
As someone who is not dealing with something that I have been for a year, no.
I guess if you'll do anything to combat the problem. In desperation.
You've drank upside down water.
Right.
You've held your breath. You've been tickled. You went to a couple haunted houses. I'm sure he went through the gamut before he put his nostrils near I can only imagine hard to handle porcupine's ass.
That's my other question is, how'd you get the porcupine? Did you go to the zoo? Is it one of those, well, I've got a friend who has a pet porcupine? Right. Or are you out smelling wild porcupine?
That is a great
Susan,
question.
How do you not get quilled when you're coming up behind a porcupine? Because you got to lift his tail to smell the butt.
I mean, I don't think it's crazy if Mike Tyson can have a tiger in his house. I think that Bo Jackson could have a porcupine.
Yeah.
It's a medical porcupine.
I mean, you're Bo Jackson. Get this man a porcupine if he needs a porcupine. And maybe it was a dead porcupine because I would assume it would get quilled. He would get quilled.
No, I mean, that's not the way a porcupine works. They don't have quills everywhere. I could be wrong. I don't think they're on their ass.
No,
I've
but
never examined
They are-
the anus of a porcupine.
I mean, I suppose a professional handler would know. Like Bindi Irwin probably can't. He was like, call Bindi Irwin. We need one of her
Yeah.
crazy animals.
Or the zoo
to help."
feels like
Yeah,
also
I
a
mean,
viable choice than going to
I
Australia.
don't know if I've ever seen a
Bro,
porcupine at the zoo.
you can
but-
buy a porcupine, $1,000 for a male, $1,300 for a female. Albinas are $2,500 for a male and $3,000 for a female. It takes, at least from this site here, dragonstoneranch.com, $300 deposit. And yeah, they're just standard black porcupines unless you get one of the albino ones.
Don't get any ideas.
This is out of King, Texas. That's not that far. Oh,
Where's King, Texas?
I don't know. We're about to find out.
Okay.
You don't need any
Texas is
more
a pretty
animals.
big state, my man.
Yeah,
Just because it's the next state doesn't mean it's close.
it's down there. It's down there ways. Let's see here. King.
I think that just a hiccups for a year would be just detrimental.
Oh,
Oh, this is just like north of Austin, south of Waco area.
Okay, so a
Yeah.
good 9
It's-
hours.
Yeah, it's a few hours away, but I mean, oh, you can get yourself up at Porcupine. Nice.
No, thanks.
Nice.
no.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like.
My dad and grandpa were on a hunting trip and their dog got into a fight with a porcupine. They ended up
Yeah.
having to put the dog down
Really?
because of too many quills.
I've
too
seen
much
Homeward
pain.
Bound too.
Yeah. The road to the NBA Finals continued last night. The two teams kept their seasons alive with crucial Game 5 victories. Jalen Brunson erupted for 38 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists to lead the Knicks to a 112-103 victory over the Miami Heat at Madison Square Garden. Out west, Steph Curry and the defending champion Warriors prevailed over LeBron James and the Lakers 121-106 in San Francisco. The action continues tonight with a pair of Game 6s. The 76ers are looking to clinch the series over the Boston Celtics in Philadelphia, while the Denver Nuggets are aiming to knock off the Suns in Phoenix. Suns guard Chris Paul is out once again with a groin injury, while center DeAndre Ayton is questionable for tonight's Game 6. DeAndre is dealing with a rib contusion he suffered during Tuesday's loss. Paul will miss his 4th straight game with a left groin strain. Former NFL receiver Henry Ruggs III formally pleaded guilty yesterday to a deadly car crash in 2021. That includes 1 count of a DUI resulting in death and 1 count of misdemeanor vehicular manslaughter. Ruggs now faces 3 to 10 years in a Nevada state prison. He's set to be sentenced in August and will remain under house arrest. That's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light.
And according to the news release, a deputy noticed the patient was breathing and requested medical crews to return to the scene. Then Largo fire rescue crews were called and reached the scene about 28 minutes later. And the man was then transmitted to a hospital where he's recovering, according to another TV outlet. Upon notification of the incident, the Clearwater fire and rescue team immediately removed both fire medics from their normal duties and discontinued their abilities to provide patient care in conjunction with the county's medical director. They said, on behalf of the city, I apologize for the actions.
No, they're real sorry.
and the inactions of our crew during this incident. He said, we have strict policies and procedures in place that were not followed. According to our preliminary review, these two did not perform to the standard of care that our citizens expect and deserve.
They have to say that. They can't say they did everything according to code.
Yeah,
Right.
They can't.
because they didn't.
Because then everyone's going to be put under scrutiny. They've got to put it on those 2 people.
Mhm.
But I can't imagine they showed up with eating a Slim Jim and a big gulp going, yeah, he ain't moving. He looks dead. Maybe they didn't, but I'm assuming they showed up followed the protocols. I don't know, put 2 fingers on the neck. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever those protocols are.
Mirror underneath the nose. He ain't breathing. He's got to be dead.
You're there. You call 911. Paramedics show up, and they just do 2 fingers under the throat, which is not a correct way to check to see if someone's alive, by the way. And they're like, yeah, they're dead. Do you, watching your loved one in this peril moment, who have called the people to save their life, go, yo, man.
Yeah.
Do your job. Like, do you get into it? Well, of course not. But do you get into an aggressive confrontation over the
You assume that they're doing their job right.
I think so, right?
You would just be like, well, I guess Tom's dead. They said he's dead. I got to take your word for it.
Did they put the thing on the finger and it didn't make any noise? And they were like, yeah, I put new batteries in it yesterday.
Right.
Right.
Well, my thing was, if they are an ambulance, and why weren't they taking the body themselves?
Ambulances don't take bodies.
Oh.
They transport to the hospital.
Okay, why weren't they doing that then?
Because they said it was dead.
It just all seems so weird. Like,
when a body's dead,
Yeah.
they don't take it to the hospital.
I beg to differ. They took my mom to the hospital.
Did they?
St. John's.
But were they trying to save her on the
No,
way?
she was already dead. She was dead. Dead.
The 2 experiences
Dead.
The 2 experiences that I have had with dead people who have died in a home.
Yeah.
The ambulance comes, they don't take the body.
Yeah, when my mom died, I got the calls. We was on 21st, and they lived on 21st and shared. Anyhow, so I get to the house, and the ambulance is backed up in the driveway, and they got her on the gurney, putting her in the back of the ambulance, taking her to the hospital. She's already pronounced dead.
It feels like an extra trip to take them to the hospital.
I don't know.
well, that's where the morgue.
It's not at the hospital. The hospital has a morgue.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how it works out.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with my dad, too. My dad died at the house, and they picked him up, took him to the hospital, and that's where we got to say our final goodbyes.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know. It's like, do you check? Maybe they check the ID. It's like, are they a organ donor? Maybe that's why you take the body to the hospital. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how that works out.
And so, again, I'm not an EMT. So, like, you're an EMT, they die, you go, all right, where's their wallet? I got to check their ID to see if they're an organ donor. How does that work?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you let the people at the hospital deal with it. Like, we're just here to drop the body off. Y'all figure it out.
And is there a code, like they call in? Like, do they do lights? If they're taking a dead body to the hospital, do they run code to the hospital?
Right, lights and sirens and the whole 9.
Yeah. I would think not. It's
Probably
not an
not.
emergency.
Right.
Exactly.
But if they're an organ donor, time is of the essence on those things.
Right.
They have a shelf life. This says, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, slept with some woman, and almost immediately the guilt took over me. She has told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her to give our marriage a second chance? 918-460-KMOD. Bmms. Then whatever you think he should do to 82945. Let's entertain the idea. What are some things he could do? How about a vacation?
Ooh.
You and me, let's have a vacation. Let's go to some beautiful exotic place and talk out my inability to keep my penis in my pants.
Yeah.
Having kids usually fixes that situation.
That maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to do that.
Vacations are nice. Absolutely.
Can you work on a
But-
problem on a vacation, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Because
This
once
isn't a
you get
problem. This is a
back-
crack in the foundation.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because once you get back, everything's right there, Yeah.
What are some other
And-
things he could try?
I think he
Entertain the
begs,
idea.
goes
No
on
bad ideas.
hands and knees and
Begs?
begs. What do you want me to? I will do anything you want me to do.
Yeah. Horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody, right? And this is why. Because you want to fix it, you have to come up with ideas. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fix it. Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not just this, any scenario, if you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix this, then you shouldn't be in it. It's a horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody to try and rectify a problem. Because it means you don't know. You haven't even entertained ideas.
Right.
How about a candlelight dinner?
That's
not
good
enough.
and gravy and all, but the distractions there, man, you're not going to be able to enjoy your candlelight dinner. You're not going to be able to do much of anything fun, a vacation or anything like that, because there's a giant elephant in the room.
Again, we're just trying to convince for a second chance. What about a spa day?
Sure. I'll go ahead and let you spend your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Yeah, is he
about
going to send
myself.
her on a spa day? I know. I think he needs to go to her and definitely, like, he needs to know from her what she expects from him.
I don't think.
What he wants her to
Come
do.
on, Lindsay. Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
on,
her,
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her?
What
Don't
she
have sex
wants
with
him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass. Give her an opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Okay.
And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know. You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
Yeah. Usually works.
Hey, usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted him what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win her over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. Just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time. So I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state. So I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on walk, and he got lonely.
So this was your boyfriend?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
you came back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. Then the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't. No, it wasn't, though.
No, it was not my fault. But I mean, I kept going.
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping. You were hoping he'd love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right. See you later.
These texts are good.
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, you know, and we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have
Train around the world, take my strong hand, get on the train, train.
Choo choo, here comes the cripple train.
Yeah. I come up with this fun little bit I called, so that's what it's called. All right. Now, these are things, this is how I come across it. I was having a tough time remembering what those plastic things on the end of your shoelaces are called. So I Googled it. And that's how I come up with a lot of the weird, stupid stuff that I know. Aglets, by the way, is what they're called. Okay. But that sent me down a rabbit hole. All right. This is going to be fun. So, you know, well, for example, that space, that patch of skin between your butthole and your genitalia. You know what that's called, right?
taint?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know the scientific term for it?
Taint.
Perineum is what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, taint is much more fun to say. But so with that being said, this all aren't going to be taint related, but there's just things that have names for them that you didn't know what they're called. So that's what they're called.
Okay.
All right. So that little space between your eyebrows, mine's usually pretty hairy.
The unibrow?
Yes, but you know, it has a name for it, and it's called a glabella. A glabella is the space between your eyeballs.
I think when it comes to body parts,
Mhm.
like there's always like another name.
Yeah.
Right. Like with the perineum and the taint.
Yeah.
Yes.
Your
yes.
glabella needs to be waxed.
Trimmed in a bad way. Much on the other side of that part of your nose that separates the nostrils, that one underneath there, I guess
Yeah.
the nose taint, I guess is what you can call it.
Nose perineum, yeah.
Right. It's called columella. Columella.
Hmm.
All right. And on the other side of that, there was another one for that little space between your lips, between your lips and your nose. It's that cleft part. And of course, I can't find it just right now instantly, but so we'll get to that here in a little bit. Nonetheless, moving on down the line, it's raining outside right now. And when the rain comes, you can smell it, right? Some people smell the rain and they
Mhm.
enjoy the rain. Did you know there's a name for that?
I do, but I can't remember what it is at this moment.
Petrichor is the name of loving
Band name.
the smell of the rain.
Well, yeah. So that's the act of, yeah.
Yes.
But that's not what, so when you love it, it has a name and that's the name. Okay.
The clean greenish aroma when raindrops hit the ground, that's petrichor.
Petrichor sounds like something like a material that, not material, but like an oil or something that you have to put in your car.
Okay.
Well, it sounds like something I use to get rid of like these certain bugs in my house.
Yeah,
Right.
that too.
Petrichor, killing everything in sight.
Yeah.
I knew this one simply because this is one of the reasons why I have my medical marijuana card, and that's because I get tingling sensation in my left shoulder, and sometimes it runs all the way down my arm, and that's called paresthesia. I didn't know
that. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see here. There is something here. I think Lindsay has this problem out of the three of us. She probably has it the most. And that is having difficulty getting out of bed in the morning. And the name for that is called dysania.
Yeah.
Dysania.
Okay.
I was like, all right, there's a name. I just thought it was being tired, whatever. But it's an actual medical problem where people have trouble getting out of bed in the morning. Doctor's handwriting, normally just call it chicken scratch.
Right.
Right. But the actual term for it is called griffinage. Griffinage is just illegible handwriting.
Big fan of that.
Absolutely not. That part on your back that you just can't reach because
that would be my back.
Right.
The middle
Sometimes
of your
my
back.
front. Yes, the middle of the back, you just can't reach it. It's like right there, and you do everything
Always.
you can to reach it, and that is called acnestis. Acnestis, yes.
Now, is that only on your back, or is that any place where you just can't reach?
Well, this says the unreachable spot between your shoulder blades.
Mm.
So I'm assuming that's just on your back. Okay. So
Can you get my acnesis for me? And my husband's gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about?
something that I suffer from every now and again, just out of sheer laziness, is the lawn mullet. The lawn mullet. If you had to guess what the lawn mullet was, what would it be?
The lawn mullet
Yeah.
is the spot on your lawn that you miss when mowing, and you look at your lawn, you're like, oh, I missed a spot. Now I have a
Oh,
lawn mullet.
Okay. Well, you're
Your
wrong.
beard.
Like the actual,
Your
like this
beard, yeah.
actual beard. No. That's when you cut the front of your lawn, but not the backyard. You cut the front yard, but not the backyard
Okay.
because you're just too damn lazy. You're tired, run out of gas, whatever the case is. The front of the house looks great, but the back is a long mess.
Mm.
Okay. We've already mentioned aglets before. Zugzwang is fun to say.
So good with vodka and maybe like a pickle, maybe some blue cheese stuffed olive.
Ooh, I love blue cheese
Yeah,
stuffed
yeah.
olives. Mm.
This is it's
Oh, no, that's Zing Zang. My mistake.
yes,
Yeah.
which is delicious. But this is usually applied in chess, but it also goes in actual life. It's when you make a move that you absolutely don't want to, but you have to. Yeah, right. A zugzwang. All right. So, Lindsay, you wear dresses. You're a female. I've worn a dress a couple of times in my life. Nothing new.
Not surprised.
But when you whirl it around, that swooshing sound that it makes
Yeah.
has a name, and it's not just swoosh. Apparently, it's called scroop.
Scroop is
Scroop.
not a very fun word.
No, scroop is the
Yeah,
swooshy
scroop that
sound
dress, you
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, scroop it. Scroop it good.
Scroop it around real sexy for me.
Something that
Doesn't sound sexy at all.
No.
something we all deal with every day are tittles. Tittles.
Can you say that on the radio?
Yes, you can, because tittles are the dots above the I's and the J's, the lowercase I's and the lowercase J.
Oh.
It's called
Yeah.
a tittle. I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's neat.
Or tiddle your eyes and J's. Okay.
Right. Mike might be able to talk about this more when he comes in tomorrow, Mike from Andolini's, but the pizza saver. It's that little plastic table that's inside the pizza. What do you think that little pizza saver is actually used for? Corbin, you should know this.
I know what it's for.
Uh-huh.
Isn't it to keep it in place?
Keep the pizza in place?
Oh, what
no.
was it for?
It's so when they're stacked, the box won't push down on the cheese.
Absolutely. Now, I have heard before that little pizza saver, pizza table thing was where you put your finger and you pull in the slice off so you're not having to touch all the other
yeah.
slices,
I have not heard that.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
we will have to make a note. We will have to ask Mike about this.
Yeah, absolutely. And see, like, I'm sure it's for the saggy boxes, absolutely 100%. But when I seen that online, it was like you put your finger on there and you hold that down and you peel your slice off. When he comes in, after I read that, that's all I do. That's all I do. So I'm not having to grab another piece of pizza
Yeah.
and tear it apart, and I'm contaminating all
Yeah.
the other slices.
And it's where Stuart sits outside when he's eating pizza.
Right. I use them as Barbie tables, end tables for my Barbie houses.
Corbin, I know I suffer from this. You may suffer from it as well. Coomer speck.
Oh, the number of times I've dealt with good Coomer speck.
I know, but this is not something you really want. Coomer speck is the excess weight you gain from emotional eating. On the counter side of that, there's a word out there called crapulous. Crapulous is the feeling you get from overindulging. Eating too much pizza, drinking too much.
Yeah.
I wake up the next day and I've got crapulous. In your eyeball, you look at your eyeball, that little pink thing that you think is a tear duct in the corner of your eyeball. Usually that's where the sleep builds up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I did not know that was called a caruncule. Caruncule?
Okay.
Yeah. I always thought it was a tear duct. Okay, cool. So, remember I was talking to you earlier, that space between your nose and your upper lip, that little cleft part? Okay. That's called the philtrum. That's called the philtrum. So you got your perineum, your philtrum, and I've already forgotten the other word because I've gone through too many of them. But the fact of it is, that's neat. Didn't know it had a name. So that's what it's called. All right. The nape of your neck. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes, you go up there and you kiss your old lady's neck right there on the nape of the neck, kind of soft, gives you those goosebumps, kind of maybe turn her on a little bit.
Yeah.
That's called a niddick. A niddick. I didn't know that either. If you
my
a
niddick.
Niddick and
Suck
tittles.
on my niddick.
Kiss
Suck
on
my
my niddick.
Uh-huh.
If you have, and if you're an adult listening right now and you suffer from this, shame on you. This should probably stop at the ripe old age of, I'll even give you 6 at the most. But the obsession with nose picking is called rhinotilexomania.
Huh.
The obsession with nose picking. Now, listen, I'm a picker. I dig in. I don't mind. Sometimes that's the only way that you can get out whatever's stuck in there. But I'm not one of those obsessive ones that pick it until it bleeds.
Yeah.
Haven't done that since I was a child.
Yeah. I don't mind a good pick now and then, but
Mhm.
I am not, I'm not like, gotta get in the moment of silence.
Right.
Oh, there it is. There. Yeah, that's not me.
Peladophobia is the fear of bald people. I didn't know that was a thing.
Huh. Why would you be afraid of bald people? Maybe if you're Superman or
I guess.
Little Orphan Annie?
I guess. But I mean, people are afraid of weird things. Clowns, midgets, stuff like that.
That's not
Mascots.
weird.
No, clowns,
Common.
rightfully so.
Right.
Right?
Thank you.
Mhm.
John Wayne Gacy has made a thing of it.
Okay, I'll give you that
Right?
one. I'll give you that one.
Bald people, I think movies just depict villains as
As
bald.
bald people. So there you go. If you have a fear of bald people. Another one on the other side of that, peanut butter, when you're eating it, it's real sticky and it sticks to the roof of your mouth.
Yeah.
There is a fear of peanut butter being stuck to the roof of your mouth. It's called arachibutyrophobia.
Get over it.
Get over the fact that peanut butter's sticking to your mouth, or get over the
Yes.
fact that word's long and hard to pronounce?
No, who cares if peanut butter sticks to your mouth?
People that don't like things stuck to
I
the roof of their
mean,
mouth.
It doesn't last long.
It still doesn't stop it from sucking. Just saying. So on the bottom of the beer bottles, this is one that I learned. I had no idea. It's kind of dented in, right? Corbin, you've made
little
your own
ridges?
beers before. No, not the ridges, but at the
No.
bottom of it, was it
Concave.
Mm.
There you go. It's concave. There's a name for that. Corbin, do you know what it is?
Bottle.
It's called a punt.
Oh, okay.
It's called a punt. And that's the keeping the integrity of the bottle or whatever is what it says. The indent on the bottle of wine is called a punt. It has some stupid definition there when it's like, oh, it's 4th and down nonetheless. Some people say it's for the integrity. They also say it's like because it holds less liquid in the bottle that the manufacturer can put less in there and still make the same amount of money. You see what I'm saying?
Mm.
Kind of shifty if you
Dirty.
ask me.
Okay. I think that's not accurate.
I'm right there with you. I think it's more of like the strengthening of the bottle.
Because if you took away volume,
Mhm.
it would have less volume.
Right. They have the agrafe. If you've ever had champagne and you've got to take off that wire cage,
Yeah.
that's what that's called, the agrafe.
Hmm.
Those, when you're eating raspberries and blackberries,
Yeah.
they're really bumpy.
Yeah.
Those bumps have a name. It's not herpes. They're called drupelets.
Okay.
Drupelets are the bumps on blackberries and raspberries.
Okay.
Yeah. So you learned something here. That's why I called it. So that's what it's called. So there's a Jamie Foxx movie, and I forget the name of it,
Prayers.
but he's I don't know if
Not
he's a
doing well.
cop or something.
Oh.
Is he getting worse? I noticed that he finally
Dude.
broke silence, but never really said anything.
Dude,
Mhm.
his family has said they're preparing for the worst.
No.
Get the F out.
The story is, so this, I don't know if this is accurate, and I know we're sidebarring.
It's okay.
The story I read is that he was on set.
Mhm.
One of his team members, whatever, they were having a dispute. He got angry at them, had a heart attack, and fell unconscious.
No kidding. Whoa.
And has not regained consciousness.
Wow. Wow. So, with that being said, if you get angry at somebody at work, take a step back, take a couple of deep breaths, maybe go chill for a little bit and don't end up like Jamie Foxx. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's exclusive to Jamie Foxx, but yeah, your point is well taken.
So there's a movie out there that he's like, I remember the line. It's like, when you love somebody, this part of between your thumb and your index finger, that flesh of skin right there is so tough that you can't bite through it, right? But in the movie, he's like, if you love somebody so much, you'll be able to bite through it. And at the end of the movie, he's chomps through it or whatever. I forget the name of the movie, but this word here is what reminded me of it. It's that space between your thumb and your index finger, and it's called a perlicue. A perlicue apparently is the toughest part of the body you can't bite through. And I saved this one for last.
So a manila envelope, no problem. Biting through it, though,
right?
No.
Right? Exactly. And I saved this one for last because, Corbin, you are a violinist.
I've been known to pluck the fiddle from now and then. At least it's been decades, but yes.
The opening in a violin. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the base of a violin.
Yeah, the little, it looks like an S kind of, but yes.
Do you know what that's called?
Oh, for sure.
What is it?
Well, I mean, I don't want to ruin your bit.
Well, go for it. I
don't want to steal your thunder.
Because you don't really know what it's called,
That's absolutely correct.
Well, Corbin, I'm going to inform you that is the F hole.
How do you play that violin?
I don't know what the F hole's for, if it's just there for decoration, if you're supposed to put your fingers in it or something, but
how you play the violin.
Yes. The hole in a violin is called the F hole. So there you go. I hope you learned something with that's what it's called.
Be around the world, take my strong hand, get on the give train, on the give train.
We're going like a legit bird.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the flamingo.
Yeah, that's where I was going. Yeah. I want see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah, flamingo or
That's
roadrunner,
true.
one of the two.
Yeah, why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricassee penguin.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting, I mean, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. I'm going to name some dishes. You give me a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome.
Okay.
And 0 being pass.
Okay.
Okay. Lindsay, you're in on this too.
Okay.
Let's start basic,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti. Lindsay?
Oh, 10.
Okay. Gimpy.
3.
Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. You can
10.
You can say 10.
Could I say 11?
Gimpy?
Oh.
What kind? Is it seafood or is it chicken?
This is just the cheese. This is
Just
no
the
chicken.
sauce
No. Yeah.
and noodles?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Manicotti. So manicotti, for those who don't know, it's a ricotta. Mostly the time it's a ricotta-based filled noodle.
Big ol' honking noodle too.
It's a 6 for me.
Okay.
That's a 0 for me, dog.
Okay. Stuffed shells.
6.
Okay. Gimpy.
2.
Wow.
If that. I'm struggling for her too, bro.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
3.
Wow. Gimpy.
Who's making it?
Whoever your favorites is.
It's even my mom's lasagna. That would like rank like a 2 or 3 for me, and that's because it's mom's. So lasagna, just in general,
Yeah.
that's a 1.
Chicken Parmesan. Chicken Parmigiana.
9.
Never had it.
What?
Crazy.
It feels crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 0 for me, dog.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
Chicken. Oh my gosh.
Is it the eggplant and the?
Nope.
That
nut?
one's good too.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't
All right. Chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah, 7.
That's 0.
Oh my God.
Like we went to that fancy Italian place for the boss what was that last week, his lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu, I was like,
Mondo's great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's, I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's toast. Most of the time, it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil.
Yes,
and stuff.
the extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get it. Spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize it.
Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1.
Tortellini.
4.
2.
Peppers and onions.
That's it. Like no sausage to put them on, or
sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically
Like a
4.
bun, you know. I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
fettuccine carbonara.
What's the carbonara part?
Bacon.
Oh,
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana.
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
Meatball sub.
Oh God.
5.
This is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I liked it. Gnocchi.
Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a Hello Fresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big 10 of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Skytook. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Skytook. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
I worked there after college,
Mhm.
and their 5-cheese pasta, adding chicken to it, was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The cannoli, yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken stuff, so good there.
I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really, 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 really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short
food.
short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no. So good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
I like Young Sheldon way more than the Big Bang Theory.
If you ever say that again, I'm going to call the HR department.
Why? Big Bang Theory is a giant turd.
That's the most offensive thing I think I've ever heard you
Young
say.
Sheldon it's not the greatest, but it's better than Big Bang Theory.
I am so disappointed in you right now. You've done some things that are pretty crazy, and this might be the most disappointing thing I've ever heard you say.
He was the executive producer of Cowboys and Aliens.
I feel like you and I run in succession on a lot of things, but this Young Sheldon thing has got me twisted.
Have you ever watched an episode?
I've watched enough to go, no.
If I gun to my head, you got to choose one, Young Sheldon or Big Bang Theory. I'm going to choose Young Sheldon, man.
No, I'm still a no. I'll pick Big Bang.
Just shoot. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the girl. She's so hot.
Yeah, but
Kaylee Cuoco.
But everything else about that show negates her hotness.
I can turn it down.
It doesn't matter. You still got all those other
Doesn't
dorks.
matter.
David from Roseanne and, the old Sheldon. And I'm just like,
Her and David are the best characters on that show.
I'll give you that. But for the most part, the show is.
By the way, there's some people right now just so twisted up. I didn't pick the Bazing guy or whatever.
Whatever.
I don't even know his name.
I never watched either one of those.
I find that shocking.
Yeah. I pick Roseanne over either one of those.
I figured
Well,
you would be in that market there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think you're off a couple decades with Roseanne.
No, or the
Morning, it's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Let's play a game. Pair of tickets to see Shinedown with Papa Roach in Rogers, Arkansas on October 5th at the Walmart Amphitheater. If you missed them here, this will be your chance because it'll be an amazing show. WaltonArtCenter.org to get your tickets. We're going to play Schnipp, Schnapp, Schnurr. Current record is...
Well, Lindsay is leading with 6. I have 5, and you have 5.
Last week's winner was...
Lindsay.
So Corbin and...
Oh,
Gimpy.
excuse me. No, that would be me. My bad.
So
I
Lindsay
apologize.
and Corbin. 918-460-KMOD. 918-460-KMOD. Call up, decide who's going to be the clue giver. Whoever gets the most right is getting those tickets to see Shinedown and Papa Roach on October 5th over in Rogers. Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Xavier.
Xavier, how are you today, friend?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. Who do you want to give clues, Lindsay or Corbin?
Oh, let's go Corbin.
Xavier, 60 seconds on the clock. Timer starts after the first clue. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. This is, so there's a chair that reclines and it's a brand. It's blank boy chair.
Lazy boy.
Yeah, just the first word.
Lazy.
Correct. If you're embarrassed, you might do this. It's also the name for some makeup women that's red in color they put on their cheeks.
Blush.
Correct. This is a dark film that goes over the glass in your car.
Tint.
Specifically, it is for what?
Sun tint.
No, it's glass on your car is what?
Oh, window tint.
There you go. Another name for salt.
Um,
You need to watch this level because it might hurt your heart. Blank bicarbonate. Blank chloride.
sodium.
Correct. If you see a story and you're intrigued by it and you start looking up things online, you would say you do this. It's also the Cheshire Cat. 4 is what we got. Xavier, that might be good enough for the win. Hang on the line, okay?
All right.
Good morning. We're on the air. What is your name?
It's Karen.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
All right, Karen, you and Lindsay have to beat 4. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
All right. This is usually, they're green and usually they go on top of a baked potato.
Green beans?
No, it's like a little, sometimes
onion?
what?
Scallions, green onions.
Kind of,
Chives.
yes. People, the Grand blank. You want to go see the Grand? Let's drive to the Grand and go visit.
Show?
Huh?
The Grand Show?
No.
The Grand Canyon.
Yes.
The canyon. Grand Canyon.
If a tree has died, it might be blank. There's a big hole in it. It has it's whole. You can hear echo.
Rotted.
Huh?
Hollow.
Yes.
Hollow.
Corbin has these all over his arms, their sleeves, and ink.
Time.
Oh, it's tattoo.
Time. Yeah, time though.
Here's your
Good job.
Yeah, that was so close. I'm sorry, Karen. You did not win. Would you like the number for my manager?
Lindsay.
All right, Hank. Thanks so much.
Sides don't go on green bean casserole.
Green bean. She
I
said
said baked potato.
Baked potato.
Oh, I thought you said
I love it. All right, girl.
green bean casserole.
Listen, Karen, I appreciate you playing. Have a good day. See you later.
You too.
All right.
Humiliating defeat.
Don't play to your name. Xavier, congratulations. You're getting tickets. Shinedown Papa Roach tickets are yours, man. Hang on the line so Gimpy can get your info, okay?
Awesome. All right.
Good job, friend. This is the one I ended on, Lindsay.
Yep. We do this all the time. We say we went down to this. Another word for bunny. And Courtney Love's band.
Okay, yeah, sure. Alice in Wonderland. Alice fell down this. I think that's the easiest way to get down it. I mean, because I know where you're going with when you start Googling stuff, and we say it all the time. Went down the rabbit hole, but we got it there because of Alice in Wonderland. Went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. And Lindsay, you poor thing. For this one, keep calm and blank on.
Oh, yeah.
Sour cream and blank chips.
Yeah. You got
sour
totally
cream and onion.
Sour cream and chive. I think you got stuck on that one. And Sleepy.
Yeah,
Sleepy Hollow. Yeah. Damn it. Yeah. I thought you were going to get me, but the record now.
Well, it ties you and Lindsay with 6, but leaves me last with 5.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show.
It was he played Roy Slade.
In
No.
Sling Blade? No.
Oh, he was the priest.
Mm.
That feels on brand for John Ritter.
Yeah.
Who had John Ritter on their What They'll Talk About Today bingo card?
Yeah, not me.
Nobody. I found some myths about serial killers.
Oh, fun.
All serial killers are men. That is a myth.
Well, yeah.
Reality is that it's just not true. As of late of 1998, a highly regarded former FBI profiler said there are no female serial killers. The news and entertainment media also perpetrate the stereotypes that all serial killer offenders are male and that women do not engage in horrible acts of violence. The lethality of a female fatale is presented in book or film. She's most often portrayed as the manipulated victim of a dominant male.
Mm.
The reality concerning the gender of serial killers is quite different from the mythology of it. There have been many more male serial killers than females throughout history. The presence of female serial killers is well documented in crime data. We pointed that out when we did our list the other week.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, approximately 17% of all serial killer homicides in the U.S. are committed by women. Only 10% of total murders in the U.S. are committed by women. Therefore, relative to men, women present a larger percentage of serial murders than all the other homicide cases in the U.S. How about that? All serial killers are Caucasian. That is a myth as well. They span all racial and ethnic groups. The racial diversity of serial killers is generally mirrors that of the overall U.S. population.
Okay.
So they're not always white. All serial killers are isolated and dysfunctional loners. We're led to believe that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like in the film Red Dragon, the Tooth Fairy serial killer. Real life serial killers are not the isolated monsters of fiction, and frequently they do not appear to be strange or stand out from the public in any meaningful way.
Look like normal everyday people.
Yeah.
I.e. Ted Bundy.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
John Wayne Gacy.
Fourth myth. All serial murderers travel widely and kill interstate. So that's not true. The most infamous serial killer, Ted Bundy, is the rare exception who traveled and killed interstate. Bundy twice escaped from police custody and committed at least 30 homicides in states of Washington, Utah, Florida, Colorado, Oregon, Idaho, California.
Yeah, I kind of guess that makes sense. I mean, if you're killing people, the bodies are going to start stacking up in your hometown. Right? So it's like, let's move around, try to just not to get caught sort of thing.
Yes, but again, that's a myth that they mostly happen in a concentrated area.
Mm.
Fifth myth. All serial killers are either mentally ill or or evil geniuses.
Okay.
Think of like Dr. Hannibal Lecter. These stereotypes are not accurate. Instead, serial killers are much more likely to exhibit antisocial personality disorders such as sociopathy or psychopathy, which are not considered to be mental illness by the American Psychiatric Association. An examination of psychopathy and sociopathy and a discussion of the powerful connection between antisocial personality disorders and serial homicide is in a book that you can read more about that. I'm not going to think about like 7, like you think he's antisocial. That makes sense.
Right. Creepy, weird guy in the back.
Yeah.
Murders cats on the weekends because he's got nothing better to do.
So if
Or
it's not,
people.
so if it's not a mental illness, then you would be able to stand a trial.
It's not a mental illness recognized.
Okay.
The wording there is really important.
Yeah.
It's not a mental illness recognized by the American Psychiatric Association, which probably goes to what you're saying. Right.
Yeah.
Because if I say you're a psychopath, that seems okay, apparently.
Right. You say I'm a serial killer. Like, no.
Right.
Never.
So we'll find out more about this guy as the story comes out. But for them to enter, like, they were following him. They had a guy that thought was a suspect. They were following him. And they're like, hey, wait a minute. Is he got to go? We got to go now.
Man.
Officer, Sergeant, we got to go. We got to go. What's happening? You're just supposed to watch him. No, man, he's got a mask and a gun. We think he's going to kill right now.
Well, it would suck if they, got the wrong person. And it was just some guy,
it's possible
dressing up for like a early Halloween party or
a prank or
something.
A
prank or something like that. And
it's kind of a weird prank to put a gun in your pocket.
No kidding.
It is California, and there are serial killers on the loose, Corbin.
Sure. How crazy would it be if they didn't catch him, but this was a different serial killer?
Oh my God! Right. Totally caught a different killer by accident.
They didn't know.
Meanwhile, you still got this guy over here.
Right.
So we'll find out in the next couple of weeks.
Right. They have to quell nervousness. So can you? They would have to come out and go, "We didn't get him. This isn't the guy, dude."
Oh my God.
Poof. People would lose their ass.
Oh yeah.
They would get overly anxious.
Yeah. Because just when you thought there was one roaming around, we'll come to find out now you got 2 of them roaming around.
Or if it's
and you got one and this other one's still on the loose. Well, how many goddamn serial killers are out there just roaming around?
Or they announced that he can go. He can go free.
Right. Yeah.
What if you were wronging that guy and it was not, he's not a serial killer. Or, oh my gosh, he is a serial killer. And you're like, I know him. We got in an argument over the rice-a-roni.
I consider myself lucky then.
He comes into my diner. I serve him coffee every day.
Totally going to be those people. There are plenty of times I've been out on a lake and we stop, against a rock or whatever. Excuse me. And people get out and climb and then jump while we're waiting. I'm like, you're crazy.
Even just that water enema. No thanks. The water going up, that hurts.
I don't
Does
think
that
that's
happen?
ever actually physically happened to
I don't
me.
know if that's a thing.
I've jumped off of a lot of things and into some bodies of water, but that thing's pretty well watertight.
Yeah. It's painful.
Huh. I don't know if I've ever heard this happen. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So you've jumped and received a rather substantial amount of water into your body.
Yeah, it hurts. It hurts. It happened when we went to Skytook and we jumped off of the little cliffs, and it happened to my husband and he said it was very painful. It happened to me when I jumped, and then when I landed, I got the biggest welt and bruise on the side of my leg.
Well,
and
what does
all the
that
way
have
up
to do
my
with the
hip.
water?
It all hurts.
So hitting the water hurts.
Yes.
Okay, you know what an enema is, right?
Yes.
What is an
And
enema?
that-
I
when
need to
the water
hold
shoots up?
on.
Yes.
What is an enema?
The water entering
Your butt.
your butt. Yes.
Okay. Because you're talking about a couple different things, and I just want to make sure we're understanding your story correctly. Because you're talking about bruises and the water hurts when you hit it. That I'll agree with 100%.
Yes.
But an enema, water entering your butt, that's a new story to me. I've never heard of such a thing. And you're saying you and your husband, this has happened to you.
Yep. Hit the water just right. That's what happens.
Are you sitting as you jump into the water
Right.
and pushing out?
You land just yes, exactly.
Yeah, but Come on. Unless you're, jumping with your cheeks spread open, there ain't no way. And even then, it just ain't going to happen. That thing's watertight for a reason.
That's what it feels like. It hurts.
I saw a Dallas Cowboy fan video from the other night when they lost, and he threw something, broke his TV, started punching his TV. It fell down, pulled out his gun, and started shooting the TV.
Oh, my goodness.
And here's the thing about all that. They still lost. It didn't change anything.
No. So now you're out of television.
Yeah.
And you discharged a weapon in city limits.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a charge in itself right there.
You're out of...
It says here the Title 42 border policy is ending today. The COVID era policy that's been used to quickly turn back migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border. Migrants are massing at the U.S. border right now, trying to cross into the country. The White House says that the border is secure, but Republicans say that the Biden administration has ignored its growing problem for 2 years. FDA panel recommends birth control pill to be available over the counter. 2 FDA advisory panels voted unanimously to recommend the birth control pill called Opill to be made available without a prescription. A final decision on if Opill will become the first birth control pill available over the counter is expected from the FDA in the summer. There is no requirement for the FDA to follow the recommendations of the advisory panels. The 2 advisory committees met for 2 days before taking the vote. It says here today is going to be the final day to get COVID tests covered by insurance. White House announced earlier in the year that it would end the public and national health emergency designations that began March 2020, and it would be in May. Americans with health insurance were able to receive up to 8 at-home COVID tests a month for free since January 2022. And lastly here, Zoo Nights, 21 plus adult event at the Tulsa Zoo returns this summer. Zoo Nights started last summer. It's the chance for adults to explore the zoo after hours. You can even learn a thing or two with keeper chats and animal demonstrations throughout the evening, or you can hop on the train and explore the zoo from a different view. There will also be live music and yard games, and apparently a lot of rhyming in that little brief description that I gave you.
All right, joining us a little earlier than he normally does is our friend Mike Malega from the Tulsa Drillers. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good morning. Doing great, man. Thanks for letting me in a little early.
No problem, man. No problem. Man, Tulsa Drillers, you guys, it's been a crazy few weeks. The guys have been red hot, haven't they?
Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, we are killing it. So we're on the longest homestand of the season, right? 12 gamer here through this Sunday, and we are 7-1 on this homestand. So, yeah, we're clicking on all cylinders right now, Corbin.
Yeah, and the Drillers, like you said, they're home. We had a day game yesterday, tonight, $2 Thursdays, which is a great deal. Fireworks on Friday. And then you guys are honoring T-Town Clowns this week, and you normally do it in June, but you're doing it this weekend. Talk about the importance of paying homage to the T-Town Clowns.
Yeah, Tulsa's just got such a rich baseball history with professional baseball dating back to 1905 before statehood. But we love to pay homage to the T-Town Clowns, our kind of semi-pro Negro League team that played here for many, many years. It's been something we've done ever since we moved to downtown to One Oak Field. So normally, it seems like we've been home for Juneteenth and we celebrate the Clowns over Juneteenth weekend. But this year we're on the road during that weekend. So we are celebrating them this weekend. We've got some sick uniforms and caps that we're going to be wearing, and we'll be auctioning those off to kind of benefit some of the stakeholders in the Greenwood district.
TulsaDrillers.com to get your tickets. And some of the guys that are playing right now for the Drillers, the pitching team is just unbelievable right now. And the future stars you see that come out of Tulsa is worth a trip down to One Oak Field, right?
Yeah, I mean, no doubt. There's 120 teams in a affiliated minor league baseball, and the Drillers starting rotation has the lowest earned run average in all of those 120 teams. I think we got like a 1.77 earned run average from our starters. So they've been unbelievable. I was just looking at the numbers. I think we've had we've only given up 87 runs this year, and the team closest to us has given up 129. So it's just been unbelievable. The pitching is probably the best it's been in all of my time with the Drillers.
Right, and that says a lot because you've had some great eras of pitching when in your long tenure there. But even the offense, the bats are pretty strong too this year.
We're scored a ton of runs. We have this promotion with Mazio's this year. If we score over 7 runs, they do $7 large one-topping pizzas the next day. And I think we've exceeded 7 runs like 7 or 8 or 9 times this year. So we're putting runs on the board. We've got a lot of offense. Our leadoff guy, Johnny DeLuca, has been tearing it up. He's one of the league leaders in home runs. He's led off 4 games with a home run. He's a guy to watch. So, our top 5 or 6 guys in the lineup are stealth. They're really playing great. And then the starting pitching, 1 through 5 has just been phenomenal.
Well, and
we're 19-10, man. It's a good start to the season, I'll tell you.
Absolutely. And there's a good stat that is worth pointing out that unless you're a nerd, you don't get into, and that you guys are blowing away. And that is the run differential between, without getting too nerdy, explain what that means. Because you guys are plus 66. The next closest is plus 26.
Right, exactly. So, that's just simply adding up all of the runs we've scored in games versus all of the runs we've given up in games. So we've basically outscored teams by 66 runs, and we've played about 30 games. So we're winning every game on average by over 2 runs. So, it's been great. We have 5 shutouts now on the season. I think yesterday or the day before we shut out Springfield. I think yesterday we beat them 3-0. And that's our 5th shutout on the season too. So, when you keep them off the board, the visiting team, and then you pile on runs, it adds up. So I feel pretty good about where the Drillers are sitting here in the first half for sure.
It's an exciting start to Drillers baseball down at One Oak Field, and Mother's Day this weekend. Lots of stuff going on. TulsaDrillers.com. Justin was in here yesterday talking about setting fire at the oil derrick that you guys shoot the flames out of, and just a small example of what you guys do down at One Oak to keep the excitement going.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm telling you, man, I don't know if you've been out, if you've seen the flame that we have, it is amazing. I'm a rock guy. I love going to concerts. That's like our little rock concert experience at Drillers. When we hit home runs, we have this 30-foot flame coming out of the oil derrick down in right field. And that's one of my favorite additions this season for sure.
Yeah, so make sure you go to TulsaDrillers.com, get your tickets. Let's talk Major League Baseball. Ohtani is continuing to just make historic run, and there's another factor that maybe not all sports fans recognize, and that he is up for a new contract, and they're predicting somewhere around or more than $520 million that he'll get for his next contract. What do you think?
I believe it. And I think, if he pitches the way he's been pitching and hits the way he's been hitting, he deserves it. Pretty much every year for the last 2 or 3 years, this guy's been a top 5 or 6 pitcher and a top 5 or 6 offensive player. So it's like you're getting 2 for 1 on that guy. Not to mention the fact that he's like incredibly marketable, a guy that can pitch the way he does and then hit cleanup basically and hit 450-foot bombs. What an attraction at the box office. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I always tune in. The Drillers games are generally over by about 9:30. The West Coast games are generally getting started. So we love tuning in to see what Ohtani's doing. He's unbelievable.
Well, and let me go to the opposite end of that spectrum with my Royals. Their starter, Jordan Lyles, has his first 8 starts this season. It's the first time they have lost a pitcher's first 8 starts of the season in franchise history. I will continue to dog on how abysmal my team is playing because it is embarrassing how bad. And maybe as someone who works a part as management and sees the inner workings of teams, how there's no solution, or how do you get to a solution managing a team like that? What should the fan expect?
Yeah, that one's tough. I really had higher expectations for the Royals this year too. They really have a nice young core of offensive talent. It looked that way last season. They're just not delivering, and following up kind of the promise of 2022. But the pitching is really what you have to do to change it. And that's been the bugaboo for the Royals for the last better part of 10 years is they're developing some young offensive players, but they just don't develop the pitching to stabilize it. Like what we're enjoying with the Drillers right now is we're watching what a starting rotation can do for you. When your pitching is consistently good and keeping you in ball games, you're just gonna win a lot more. And when the pitching is just torching you like they're doing for the Royals and the A's and a couple other teams in big leagues right now, it's just hard to win multiple games back to back to back. So yeah, it's tough. They need to work on it. Pitching's where they got to get it. They got to get some pitching going.
Well, you want to watch some red hot pitching, you need to go down to One Oak Field, see the Tulsa Drillers in action. You guys got a lot going on. You got the special oily bobblehead tonight for $2 Thursdays. Yep. That is just beautiful. It's well done. And then we've got the games this weekend, fireworks on Friday, T-Town Clown honoring on Saturday, and great Mother's Day. Spend Mother's Day at the ballpark during the day. You guys got a great setup for that. Going to allow moms to run the bases, play catch.
Yep. And we're giving away little wine glasses for the moms. We know how the moms like the wine.
I know you got your hand in one of those before they went down to the promotion deck. Congratulations, man, on the team doing so well. We can't wait to get down to One Oak Field and see them in action. TulsaDrillers.com to get your tickets, pick the game you want to go to, and support your Tulsa Drillers at One Oak Field. Mike, have a great week. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it, Corbin. Thanks, man.
All right, take a break, and we'll be back.
To the Wall Sports is powered by Miller.
I don't think I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I say that.
Okay. It's common sense is another one. I've heard people say that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's common sense, and people are lacking it nowadays.
Yeah.
Of the two we've read, I'm not willing to go all in that I've never said them.
Okay. I'll be honest. I've said both of those.
I simply have a powerful personality. I've never said that.
No, hell no.
I hate this statement. Let's agree to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just, let's throw in the towel here.
Well, I mean, you arguing back and forth.
Right.
There's not going to be any resolution. Let's just agree to disagree.
I see that as I don't have anything else to argue about. I can't. I have nothing left. I have no more ammunition, and I can't accept that I've lost.
Right.
Or I can't accept that I've won or whatever. And so you go to that statement.
You should just stomp your feet and walk away.
It's just a joke.
Oh, geez. Said that.
I've said that.
Yeah.
Several times on the show.
Well, okay. What is said on the show is different than reality.
Right. I get that. They're just jokes. Say that to the people they're directed to when they take it personally. It's just a joke, man. Calm down.
These are annoying things people say. Let's unpack this. Okay, moving on.
Yeah. Mirror you.
Do you know who I am? I've never said that.
Never.
I never have either. Not like to anybody in particular. Like, I'm at, bar, restaurant. You know who I am?
Right.
No. But like in a joking matter.
Telling a story?
Yeah.
For sure.
You know who I am?
No, you're right.
Come on.
And I've been with people that have said it and it makes me cringe. Like where they've said, do you know who this is? I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Next couple are going to sting. It is what it is.
Oh, that's my fave. That is my absolute fave.
I will validate that is annoying to hear. Well, actually.
Ugh. Those come in on a lot of texts on here.
Yeah.
Actually.
And on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Love the sinner, hate the sin.
No.
Again, another phrase that people use to excuse behavior.
Right.
Yes.
I always keep it real, and a lot of people can't handle the truth I speak.
That's just a way of saying I'm an asshole.
Totally. I've said that. I've said that line.
Mm-hmm.
That's problematic. I don't find that one annoying.
No.
That's an observation you're making. You're not critiquing anybody. You're like, well, that's problematic.
Yeah. You can see something on the horizon, like this is going to cause some issues. Yeah.
I need to speak to a manager.
Hi, Karen. I've never had to say that.
I can't, upon reflection, like with not in the moment of a fly in my soup or whatever, I can't think of a reason I need to speak to the manager.
No. It's simple. I just won't come back to X place, wherever it is.
Agreed.
There's nothing me speaking to the manager will fix.
No.
It is strictly an ego move.
Mhm.
I need to know you've heard me.
Right.
I need to believe you're going to fix this.
Mhm.
Not to play the devil's advocate, but show's based off that theory. Trust the science. I've heard that too.
Right.
I'm just an aggressive person. I'm just an aggressive person. I have a lot on my mind.
I'm an asshole, and I need to get all this out.
Full stop.
That sounds familiar.
I've heard that. Why are you such in a bad mood? Bitch, when I'm in a bad mood and you go, why are you such in a bad mood? Whew. Whew.
Just stay. Don't even ask.
Right.
Or when they think that you're in a bad mood. Why are you so angry? Why are you so grumpy? I'm not. If I was in a bad mood, you'd know it. I'm just here chilling.
But on the same side, if someone, like, shouldn't we be better as individuals and goes, hey, someone's being concerned and just calling a spade a spade.
Right.
Hey, why are you such in a bad mood? I'm not in a bad mood.
Right.
Okay. I'm
Stop
concerned
yelling
for
at
your
me.
mental well-being, man. Sorry. Next time I'll use a more politically correct term, you pussy.
Just leave me alone.
Hey, listen, I'm just keeping it real. I'm just being honest.
Yeah. Got a lot
Full
on your
stop.
mind.
Is there another way to come at someone like that? If you recognize someone in a bad mood?
Oh, yeah, it's easy. Just leave them be.
There's definitely don't play an active part in a person's life. Probably you have to be a little more kid glovish, right? And you're like, hey, little fella, you look like you're struggling. What's been going on? Come on, here's a lollipop. Tell me what the problem is.
Can I be a shoulder for you to cry on?
Here's another one. Live, laugh, love.
I've seen those signs.
My wife finally is getting rid of the gather sign in our dining room. I have no idea where we're going to eat.
What's her reason for getting rid of it? She's just like, all right.
I think I've pushed the button enough.
Fine. We'll take it down. Why are you in such a bad mood?
People come over, or my girls will go, where are we eating dinner tonight? I'm like, just look for the sign.
Right? Tell you where to go.
Yeah.
I totally thought you were like, I have no idea why. I have no idea where we're going to eat.
Right, because the sign says gather.
I love it.
And it's a play on like, hey, we're family.
I know.
Okay.
This is awesome.
Trying to help you. For your situational awareness. I don't.
No, seems like a lot.
Another one that is a button. Calm down.
Yes.
Calm down is a move someone says to try and like establish alpha.
Right. Dominance.
Yeah.
Instead of peeing on their leg or whatever.
Yeah.
Just calm down.
This line. I work hard. When I hear this line, I just laugh inside. Because if you have to announce you work hard, you don't.
A king that has to say he is king is no king.
Right.
Game of Thrones.
You are insecure in your hard work ethic that you must pronounce to the world that you do. Well, then your actions should reflect that, right? I reject the premise of that question. If you said that to me, I'd probably laugh.
Get out of here with that.
Gimpy and I laugh about this one all the time. If I were you,
you should just.
You should just as a variation of
right
that.
along the same lines.
You need to.
This is another one I love. Threat to our democracy.
Oh, good Lord.
Must be nice. Like, must be nice.
Oh, I was thinking of more like, you must be nice.
No. Must be nice. Are we there yet? You know, it must have been when I got my white New Balance that I realized how annoying that phrase is.
Yes, absolutely.
Dad mode, man. I can't stand that. Are we there yet? You'll know. How will I know? When I park the car.
Right. And then you stop at the gas station, take a whiz, right? Because you've been on the road for 16 hours. Are we there yet? But you said we were there when you stopped the car. I got to piss. Shut up.
Annoying things people say. I'm the type of person. Hear me out.
No.
Per my last email.
In other words, I ain't going to say it again.
No, meaning you didn't read it.
Right.
Do your own research.
Lazy ass.
Because I said so? Sure.
That's a good dad answer right there. Well, why? Because I said so. That's why.
Right. But if you think about it, when
Mhm.
you're trying to shape a young mind,
Mhm.
it gives no context. You don't learn from that.
And I'm
No.
so guilty of that.
Totally. Every parent is.
Absolutely.
It's an easy answer. If you're saying that, you're already frustrated.
Exactly. And I even read an article
Good.
years ago saying why you shouldn't say that to your kids. And just like you said, because you're shaping a young mind, it gives them no real reason as to why they shouldn't do this or that. You should give them a reason
Right.
behind why you're saying no.
It's an interpretation like a confrontation rather than like, no, I just don't understand.
Right.
I'm only saying what everyone's thinking.
Yeah, I've said that before.
Yeah, me same.
I don't like drama.
Well, yeah, everybody says that.
And yet, here we are.
It's a lie.
Yeah.
Lie.
Yeah. It's only said by those people who create the drama or are involved in the drama. Just giving you a hard time.
That means I'm an asshole, and I notice that I've hurt your feelings, so therefore I've got to smooth things over. I'm just giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah. That's just how I was raised. The Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Qualifying people for Harley Days of May. Josh Ball of Tulsa heard the cue. Now Josh is qualified to win a 100th anniversary Harley-Davidson Dyna Wide Glide from Steel Horse Motorcycles, which is inside Oklahoma Outdoor World off Route 66 in Sapulpa. Every hour on Thursdays, even with Mel and DC, you have a chance to get qualified. So be listening for that cue, as another one will be playing in a little over 50 minutes. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. I just read 3 pros to eating Sour Patch Kids.
Gross.
They help halt panic attacks. Apparently, they alleviate muscle cramps and they provide quick carbs at the gym.
Nope.
Nah, that's what I got.
Good morning, Gibby.
Morning, Corbin. I'm going to be out at Jameson's tonight, 145th and 71st Street there in Broken Arrow from 5 to 7, getting you signed up to get qualified for that same Harley Corbin was just talking about.
Conspiracy Theory Thursday, the 10 biggest conspiracy theories in rock music. Some of these you're going to know. Okay. Some of these you should know for sure, right? Like the one that I think most people know, Jim Morrison. People think he's alive, right? The idea that him being alive is kind of crazy. This says Morrison remained a relic of the 60s after his tragic death in 1970. And there have been more than a few skeptics doubting whether he actually passed away. Only a limited number of people saw Jim Morrison alive after he left the U.S. After passing away from heart failure when vacationing in Paris with his girlfriend, Pam, Morrison was buried in a sealed coffin in France, where most fans have made shrines to his memory. I've been there. It's quite a spectacle. The details got even more foggy when Pam passed away only a few years after his death. Since none of the band saw him after he left Los Angeles, fans have claimed that Jim Morrison faked his death to escape the celebrity fame machine.
Okay. Interesting.
Although the whole thing has been believed a farce, keyboardist Ray Manzarek was the only member to give a theory or a shred of credibility, thinking it would have been in Morrison's character to disappear one day and never return. Then again, if someone was faking their death, one would think they would at least tell a few close friends about what they were planning to do before going off the grid.
Would you tell anybody if you were faking your death?
Okay, so great question. It depends. I'm applying it to my current situation.
Right.
My children, my wife, who I adore more than my own life.
Yeah.
So in this life now, no. If I was someone trying to escape everything, and
okay, you're saying no, you would not fake your death.
not
at all
right now.
whatsoever. Okay.
No.
Okay.
Maybe a younger me, or I was trying to escape something where I could conspire. I'd already been kind of removed for a year or so, like Jim Morrison. And I was like, I'm going to vanish. Then you will vanish. Yeah, I probably could.
Okay. The question was, would you tell anybody if you faked your death?
Yeah, no.
You wouldn't. I wouldn't either. It doesn't make sense because you're trying to get away, right? And even if you tell, like, if I told my brother that's the closest person to me. I wouldn't, I mean, like, because the word will get out eventually.
Yeah. Even the person you trust the most is going, you have to believe they're going to tell someone.
Tell somebody.
Yeah, but your mindset, right? If you are already like hermit lifestyle because nobody had seen them, it's not a giant. You're going, again, you equate it to your life now where you're social, you go out, you see people. But if you never leave your apartment, you just do drugs and write poetry,
right?
It may not be a far leap.
Right.
Typically, human beings are not capable of isolation.
Right.
They go mad. They want someone with them. You got to buy supplies at some point.
Right.
Even if he was going to go live in a chalet in Sweden or France or whatever,
right?
He would need something or somebody. He'd have to purchase it. Somebody would have to know, right? Which goes along to the other one that is a lot of people believe or think, and that is that Elvis is alive, right? For years, rumors have persisted that Presley is alive and well since his funeral was never televised. Even though Presley's estate remains his final resting place, fans speculated that the King's death was all publicity stunt, having been a cover-up by the media so he could go undercover to live a quiet life. If he were to have covered up his death, he would have to be back in the public eye in the early 90s, with some fans claiming Elvis could be found in the background of the movie Home Alone.
What?
When the family are rushing through the airport trying to get back home to their son, considering the amount of hysteria caused every single time he walked on stage, it would seem even if he were alive, people would lose their minds. Not if they couldn't recognize him, right? And why would you work so hard and do so much work to be in isolation,
right,
and then reappear on a Home Alone movie?
Yeah.
Just to troll people.
Yeah, that makes no sense. And a lot of people for a while said he hadn't died because of the misspelling on his thing, which I've seen in person, and it was attributed to like, and I don't know why they didn't fix it right away, but they were like, it was just a mistake.
Right, typo.
Which I feel like if you were just doing Corbin Pierce or Michael Berger, that you would have like been like, yeah, it's fine.
Right.
But hey, we've got a special order for
it's Elvis
Elvis Presley.
Right.
Yeah, I'll do this one. Hey, let's double check everything.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
Yeah.
But no, right? Some other ones of the top conspiracy theories in rocks, and these are where they start getting a little I wasn't aware of. Phil Collins drowned.
I thought he's still alive and like barely holding on.
Barely.
Yeah. Yeah. Aside from giving the world's God's gift to drum breaks in the air tonight, is allegedly about a real experience that Collins had while recording his album Face Value. As the story goes, Phil Collins saw a man drowning and someone looking on, watching him die. Instead of helping the drowning man himself, the conspiracy theory claims Phil Collins took all of his aggressive energy and channeled it into writing In the Air Tonight.
Yeah.
Story's far from the truth, and Phil Collins has debunked it. But when Collins was working on his first solo album, he had been going through a recent separation from his wife and was using his songs to communicate with her, with air serving as the sort of calm before the storm for the rest of the album. The song might be getting revenge in some way, but most of the energy in the song is about the drum fill rather than someone drowning. The American Girl suicide. Tom Petty, American treasure, not always known for being an awesome dude, but amazing musician. Even his music today still sounds like it was just written. American Girl, some believe, is about suicide. Most of the song is the typical portrait of a girl from the States that Tom Petty used to be infatuated with. Fans have dwelled on the lines where this woman listens to the cars roll by on 441. Since most of the verse talks about how everything she wants is out of reach, fans speculate that this refers to the woman committing suicide after jumping off of a bridge off Route 441.
Okay.
As for Petty, this was more about freedom that comes with being an American girl, where everyone is free to ride down dirt roads with the wind in their hair. The whole thing was supposed to be a hopeful look at a girl with nothing but potential, but some people see the girl as a sad cautionary tale of what America can do to a person.
Okay.
Which I speculate of the interviews I've read with Tom Petty, if you asked him, he would go, it's just a song.
Right.
Yeah.
There's no meaning.
Just some
behind
words
it.
that worked as I was writing. Stevie Nicks' cocaine habit. I'm not sure. I'm sure most people that are familiar with Fleetwood Mac are aware of the addiction problem with that band and the rampant cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
There's one aspect with Stevie Nicks that I don't know if everybody's aware of. I sure wasn't. I love Fleetwood Mac. Apparently, during a doctor's visit, Stevie Nicks was told that she was developing a massive hole in the center of her nasal cavity and that she would probably die of a brain hemorrhage if she continued to indulge in the cocaine. Well, fans got creative ways of how Stevie Nicks allegedly kept her habit going after this advisory from the doctors. So, apparently, fans speculated that she ingested cocaine by mixing it with water and having roadies administer it through her anus before she would go on stage.
So we've heard of butt chugging before, things kids are doing to get drunk fast.
Yeah, usually it entails like vodka.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So this is just watered down cocaine and, administered the same way. Huh.
It's like something
Huh.
someone from like Motley Crue would do before
Sure.
before Stevie Nicks.
Wolf of Wall Street, right? I mean, they didn't use water to dilute it or anything, but it right there.
Yeah, I am not one to typically blend the image of a band as being as who they are in real life, like you're implying.
Mm.
But because some of the most calmest band people I know were the craziest partiers.
Right.
So it's not, and they at their time were the Motley Crue.
Yeah.
Hell, they were sleeping with each other's wives and husbands.
Oh, yeah.
They were debauchery.
Yeah.
But I wonder, would she remember?
Okay. I could see where you're at there. Like, she's so blitzed out of her mind, she probably wouldn't remember. Maybe somebody's like, hey, you want to get this into your system faster? I've got an idea. Oh, by the way, it'll also save your nose.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has repeatedly said that this. Yeah, why would she go? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I did that.
The Kiss blood path. So Kiss has had a long history of, even like as Lindsay was pointing out, like that's who their image is, so that must be who they are. And that when they were getting big and they had these larger than life personas that they created, they got a deal for a comic book through Marvel. And the rumor came out that members used their blood to provide the red ink for the final copies of original issues.
Good one.
Despite it sounding nutty, it's 100% true. During a day off from touring schedule, every member of Kiss showed up to a blood drive and gave quick samples of their blood to the comic book plant, putting the vials in the vat of red ink.
Okay. So
remember,
it's
this is a
really-
conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Right.
There is no truth other than the words of the people.
Right. But they make it sound like they pricked their finger and used the actual blood to, finish off the comic. Really, it's just red dye, red ink that possibly they, poured it in there. So it's more ink than it is blood.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mm.
If you I want to get a tattoo for my dad using his ashes. I have the ashes set aside, so I can do that, right?
Yeah.
It will be more ink than ash.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It will
But-
not be ink made from ash.
Right. But you say, I've got a tattoo from ashes or whatever, or I've got, a comic book written in blood. It just sounds a lot cooler.
Yeah, it fits the persona.
Mm-hmm.
One of his, just like, he slept with thousands upon thousands of women.
Right.
Just like his tongue was cut
Right.
so he could stick it out farther. Right?
Yeah.
Robert Johnson's Satanic Pact.
Mm.
So, from the start of the British invasion to the days of Chuck Berry, every rock act jamming in their garage has always relied on a 12-bar blues to get them going. Muddy Waters and B.B. King may have practiced their technique for years. Robert Johnson had some demonic assistance with getting his skills. According to legend, the blues innovator was originally terrible at guitar, which some people would argue if you play blues, you are terrible at guitar, was sent packing for most clubs that he frequented. After standing at the crossroads in the American South, Johnson met Lucifer, who turned his guitar, sending him right back to his stomping grounds with the ability to play like a man possessed. Sounds like a great blues song.
Yeah, it does.
Sold his
Man
soul to the
possessed.
devil. So
Yes.
he could play.
Yes. Sounds like the perfect lyric I've even heard in a song. He might have been able to play some of the greatest blues of all time. It came with a price, being poisoned by a jealous ex-boyfriend because of his flirting with one of the girls at the bar, seeing how Johnson never had proper burial and has an unknown gravesite. It's anyone's guess whether any of that's true. That's a fun one because I didn't know he didn't have you would think someone of that stature would have a place
where
fans could pay homage to him, right?
What was that?
Maybe it was Robert Johnson.
It was
Or
Robert
Lucifer.
Johnson, as a matter of fact.
We heard, was that in your headphones?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was. I put it in queue, but for whatever reason, it played over. That's Robert Johnson.
Yeah.
So I was like, I've never heard his music. I've heard the
Oh,
name,
yeah.
but I've never actually heard the music before. Oh, you really can't go wrong there, can you?
No. Just want a beer now. Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Hell. The legacy of Led Zeppelin has always had a dark streak to it outside of some of the sex and drugs that each member got into. Jimmy Page's preoccupation with the occult made some people question how much of his guitar skills were for dark magic. Although Page didn't exactly hide his fixation with the dark side of spiritualism, concerned parents believe that Zeppelin has been shoehorning these messages into their songs. In the middle of their signature hit, Stairway to Heaven, there have been some questions about the song. Says if fans play the record backwards. Regardless of what tools go into ruining one's vinyl collection, the naysayers claim that the song's second verse contains a backward message about Satan, including Robert Plant singing what sounds like, "Here's to my sweet Satan." The rumor became so overblown that some evangelists have used the method to disavow rock and roll, finding similar problems in songs by the Eagles and Judas Priest. Soundgarden even made fun of the concept in 667, being a parody of the customary cursed integer 666. Satan most likely had nothing to do with any rock music, but
all right. So we've all played music backwards before.
Sure.
And, you know, you're using your brain to make sense of the nonsense that's there.
Yeah, Jesus and the Toast.
Exactly. Exactly. They're not really saying that. It's just but you know, you're I hear it. Well, Freddy's the devil. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stupid.
Every music at some point gets accused of this.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I don't know. I can't recall any time that country music played backwards. You get your dog back, your wife back.
No,
your
rock
truck
and
back.
roll.
Right. But I thought you said like any music or whatever. But yeah,
I meant rock
music,
and roll, but
yeah,
like hip hop gets accused all the time of doing bad things. Music in general gets accused as being the culprit for name it.
Yeah. Right. Sex, drugs,
Yes.
rock and roll.
School shit, whatever. Just like video games.
Right. What was it last year? They had that festival or whatever, and that stampede that killed everybody, a bunch of people or whatever.
Down in Houston, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And there was a big conspiracy on that one, and how that one was like opening a portal to hell and blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
And the dude's working with the devil or whatever.
The amount of work it would take to make that sound even close and also be a song. And how would the record label know? I mean, the company would that would never happen.
Yeah.
Keith Richards changed his blood.
What?
I remember this one. He's been around for a long time. Keith Richards has, right?
Truth.
So how did he manage to survive? Booze, drugs, all of that? Well, some would say a new blood supply. As the story goes, Richards went to get a blood transfusion in the 80s, which was meant to drain most of the toxic elements from his system. Though Keith Richards is far from the first rock musician to have a blood transfusion, the theory suggests that the doctors replaced everything in his body, filling his entire system with a whole new supply of blood, as if he had never touched drugs. Again, this is just a theory. It's a drop in the bucket for a guy like him who has managed to fall out of a tree when on vacation and claims to have ingested ashes of his cremated father when craving a drug kick. Maybe he did that, but I hardly believe that makes you better, right?
Right. Is it medically possible to rebuild a person like that? Like you're rebuilding a Buick?
Rebuild, no, but there are countless stories in sports with this happening. Lance Armstrong might be the most famous, where they would do at their rest stops, he would get off the bike, get onto a bus, and they would put new blood in him.
Okay.
And he would then keep going. So there are some aspects where this is true. Now, would like his skin look different and all that? No.
Right. Well, it says that they replaced everything in his body. So to me, that reads they replaced the lungs, the heart, the stomach, the liver, the pancreas, everything in all the organs in his body.
I think they're implying the drugs part.
Right.
Like, that they replaced the drugs part.
Okay. Because I'm thinking is that like, all right, so you drain the oil in your car, right, out of the engine.
It doesn't give you a new engine.
Right, exactly. And then you start replacing all the parts, you put new oil in.
No, but if you replace the oil, it does run better.
You have a point there. That is true.
So, again, not the same. And then the last one here is that Paul McCartney is dead. We have touched on this before, that Paul McCartney has been dead for a while. They said that Paul McCartney died in a car accident in 1966 and was replaced by a lookalike named William Campbell. In an attempt to cover up the death of their bandmate, the surviving Beatles hid messages in their song lyrics with Strawberry Fields Forever containing John Lennon saying, "I buried Paul," towards the end of the track. While McCartney was involved in a car accident in 1966, he survived and continued to pump out more songs, and now he is probably dead and propped up with fish string at live shows.
I make that money, man.
But I love a good rock conspiracy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is, there are countless ones of Marilyn Manson. And even stories that are true of like with Ozzy and stuff are really massive embellishments. Right? They're not 100% accurate.
They get watered down over time, starts off with something and just, it's a telephone game.
Yeah, it's
essentially.
It's, I saw a guy that said he's going to start doing this when he goes fishing this summer, is he's going to take a Ken doll and put it down and post it with the fish. So he can be like, no, look how big of a fish I caught, because that's what we do. We just embellish it to be like a crazy story. But it'd be weird for a fisherman to pull out a Ken doll if we saw them at the dam. Anyway, all right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back.
Tulsa's morning show.
Door, so if someone gets in, they can't push it open.
Right.
They sell aftermarket things to put on doors. Things like even the moment you get into a room as a woman, probably anybody, I've always done this, is you do the latch every time, no matter what.
Yeah, where they only get the door open like maybe 3 inches.
Don't latch your door because you go to get ice or whatever. Like, be overly cautious. Nonetheless. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he made another key.
Yes. He went and made another key card, and busted into this guy's room, creeped in, ding, 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 up to the foot of the bed, peel the blanket back.
How do you peel the... No, but...
Somehow he got access to his toes.
Yeah, but he wasn't okay, let's DEF this.
Yeah.
He wasn't planning. He didn't know his feet were going to be hanging out of the bed or whatever. He didn't know the guy was going to be asleep.
That's true. True. You're taking a gamble going in. But I mean, you can assume at 5 a.m. that most likely they're going to be asleep.
Not necessarily.
No, I don't think so, dude.
5 a.m. is not necessarily too. We're up. You're up on a reg at 5.
A lot of people at work, like, are on work trips, right?
Yes.
So, like, I hear you.
Yeah.
If it's Vegas, or something, or a Saturday, I'm with you.
It was 5:30 in the morning on a Thursday. I had to look at the calendar. And
Okay,
see when March 30th was.
I like that. Yeah.
So it was on a Thursday.
Good job, detective. I like that. So, like, yeah, it makes you're taking maybe he misinterpreted a wink.
Oh, like he thought he was invited. But he's like,
Ooh.
I've got to get in. I've got to make my own key to get in. You see what I'm saying? So,
it just feels weird that he didn't know. Again, he didn't know the feet were going to be available for sucking.
right.
Well, maybe when he went in, it was a little warm in the room, so he had one foot out from underneath the covers.
Totally, but again, the perpetrator didn't know that.
Right.
So this is what I'm trying to get to is he's done that before. This time the feet were just available.
Mm-hmm. He snuck into rooms before. Maybe not sucked on any toes or anything.
Yeah, because they were all covered. Because you don't just lightly lift. They're tucked in.
Yeah.
Hotel sheets are notorious for being super tucked in.
Yeah.
Good point.
That's a good point. And that just goes to show you never know.
Yes,
You
which
never
is
know.
going back to what I said. The assaults that are happening in hotel rooms and the lack of security people are putting on themselves when they stay in hotel rooms.
And what kind of hotel was it?
It was a Hilton.
So a nicer hotel with probably a hotel bar. Maybe since he was the night manager, he had been watching him. Maybe he was at the hotel bar drinking. And so maybe he knew how late he was up.
Okay.
So he knew that he would be passed out.
Maybe,
yeah. Yeah.
Following you back to your room, sir.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I'm a dork. Like, I put a chair in front of the door.
Right.
So if you open the door, you're going to bang the chair.
Yeah. You're definitely getting kicked in the face, right? It's not wrong. If you wake up and somebody is sucking your toes, right, you can kick them in the face and be in the right.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're in your space. They've breached the door, right?
Yeah.
I just think that the octane of what's happening is going to throw you off. And so, and that person is aware that they may get caught.
Mm-hmm.
So they're skedaddling, they're Scooby-Dooing out of there.
Right,
when you're like, hey, what's happening?
Why is my toe so wet?
What? And then that person's gone before you can really get your wits about you.
Right, because you just woke up and you're like, what's going on?
You don't wear glasses.
Yeah.
Open up the door to see who just ran outside and they're gone already.
Yeah.
I call this day spa or dispensary.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, I've got some businesses. These are legit businesses in Tulsa.
Oh, fun.
It's either a day spa or a dispensary.
Okay.
Now, based off the name, you're going to chime in with and that's how you're going to buzz in. Corbin or Lindsay.
Okay.
Got
You
it.
get one shot and one shot only because this is a 50-50 chance. There's no point in, hey, would you like to guess, Lindsay? He said it's a dispensary. No, it's a day. So you only get one shot.
Okay.
Whoever wins at the end, I got a big prize for you. Okay.
Like a little nug, maybe? A prize?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Maybe.
God knows you have
Day
plenty.
Spa?
Right. So, day spa or dispensary, are you guys ready?
Ready.
All right, we're going to take it up from the top here. Euphora. Corbin, yes.
That's a spa.
Euphora is a dispensary. No points for anybody on that one. All right. Nirvana, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin would be correct.
Come on, Lindsay.
You got to get in the game, woman. Get in the game. All right. Omni Oasis, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Day Spa.
Day spa is correct. So far, we're tied 1-1. La Fusion, day spa or dispensary? La Fusion.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, that is incorrect. La Fusion is a day spa. Poppies, day
Corbin.
spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That
yes.
is a day spa.
Yes, you are correct. Poppies is a day spa. 2-1 so far. Corbin's lead. OHG, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
Dispensary.
That is correct.
What'd you say?
OHG. That's all it is. These are all the ones. I just found them on Google.
Sure.
I just simply Googled day spa and then Googled dispensaries and then found a bunch of them that are really close.
I just
They
couldn't
could be
hear. I didn't hear
confused.
you because you were going so fast. I didn't hear you. I didn't know it was
I
letters.
wonder what that stands for.
I have no idea. Nonetheless, moving forward, 918 Elevate, day spa or dispensary? 918 Elevate.
Corbin.
Corbin, yes.
Dispensary.
That is correct. Corbin's in the lead, 3-2. One Love Wellness, day spa.
Corbin.
You got to pick it up, Lindsay. Corbin, yes.
That is a dispensary.
Corbin, One Love Wellness is indeed a
Wow.
dispensary. Yes. Corbin killing it right now. Lotus Blossom,
Corbin.
day spa or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a dispensary.
You are wrong, my friend.
You
Lotus-
might need to
Lotus
Okay.
Blossom is a day spa. Go ahead, Google
I
it.
know there's a dispensary called Lotus.
There's one called Lotus Gold. Not Lotus Blossom. See, and that's the fun part about this game because they can be
semantic,
they're
sure.
so close. All right. Indigo, day spa or dispensary? Lindsay.
That is a dispensary.
Indigo Lindsay is a day spa. So far, it's 4-2, Corbin's lead. Hand and Stone, day spa or
Lindsay.
dispensary? Lindsay.
Spa.
All right, Lindsay, you are correct on a comeback.
I've been there.
It's a 50-50 guess.
Right, of course. All right, Rosebuds, day spa or dispensary?
Lindsay.
Lindsay.
I'm going to go dispensary.
Lindsay would be correct. Rosebuds is a dispensary, tied up 4-4. Jade Wellness Center, day spa
Corbin.
or dispensary? Corbin.
That is a wellness, or that is a day spa.
Corbin. Jade Wellness Center is a dispensary. Still tied 4-4. Deluxe, day spa or
Corbin.
dispensary? Corbin.
That is a spa.
Corbin, you are incorrect. Deluxe is a dispensary. Nature's.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. Lindsay said she found another conspiracy, rock conspiracy. You want to share that one?
Sure. Is Morgan Freeman actually Jimi Hendrix?
What?
Yeah, it says there are plenty of absurd theories circulating on the web. Among them, one of the most incredible is Morgan Freeman, none other than Jimi Hendrix, the well-known guitarist and songwriter who passed away in 1970. According to some, it is not, in fact, a coincidence that Morgan Freeman exploded as an actor a year after Hendrix's alleged disappearance. And among other things, in support of this hypothesis, there is also the fact that the star, D in the Grip of the Spider, is really good at playing the guitar. In recent years, Morgan Freeman just wanted to hold an evening in honor of the famous singer-songwriter. And according to the usual suspects, it would have been a way to commemorate the good old days as a musician. And by the way, it is said that Hendrix himself had a short life in the army because he would have been discovered as a spy. And needless to say, his undercover name was just Morgan Freeman.
There's a lot of, like, is he good at guitar? I don't know.
Right.
I've never seen him play. I would think if he had that skill set, like Bill Clinton could play the saxophone. He's played it on TV. We've seen him. I'm just using that as an example. Like, we've seen that happen, right? Bruce Willis used to be able to play the harmonica and sing blues.
Yeah.
Right? Kevin Bacon can play the guitar. Right? Johnny Depp plays the guitar. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, people that did that, there's a correlation of backing that statement up.
Mm-hmm.
And then as far as Jimi Hendrix, they said he broke out after Jimi Hendrix died. He had his first film he was Afro in a movie called Who Says I Can't Ride a Rainbow.
What? Well, we all got to start somewhere.
And I'm looking in his movies here, and I'm looking to see if there's one that sticks out. Glory, Clean and Sober. I know that was big. That was Then, This Is Now, which was 85. Beyond that, at least in the movie world, he was on Electric Company starting in 1971. But I still would think he was kind of an unknown.
Right.
Most of the people, you didn't know who they were. You just were like, that's the black guy on Electric Company.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that feels like a little bit of a jump. Yeah. And he would be much older than Jimi Hendrix. I think there was like 5 or 6 years. So he would,
He's 85. Morgan Freeman is 85 years old. He was born in 1937.
He was born in 1937.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me see, when was Jimmy born?
42. 1942.
That's when Jimmy was born.
So you said he's how old now?
Morgan Freeman is 85.
Okay.
So then Jimi Hendrix would have been 79. 85 and 79, you can look dramatically different.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not buying into that at all.
Even
They're
if
black, that's it.
Exactly. Even if they were the same age, I don't see any kind of resemblance at all whatsoever.
But Lindsay said there's some
The cheekbones, I think, said their eye shape.
round.
Definitely. No, kind of squinty, though, too. Like, yeah.
Part Asian?
His lids,
Yeah, right.
eyelashes.
Yeah. And in this picture, too, I mean, even like the little crease in their chin,
But
like in the shape.
couldn't that just be genetics, though?
They're-
Not saying that they're the same person, but I mean, Native Americans share a lot of the same different physical traits. You see what I'm saying? White people, from Europe or whatever, Germans, they share a lot of the same traits. So if they came from the same part of the world, wouldn't they have the same kind of traits like that?
I mean, possibly.
All right.
But a skin imperfection, like a fold underneath the lip,
Right.
one could be altered via Photoshop, or depending on how you find a photo to match that.
Right.
True.
To me, the ear shape, I always look at the ear shape.
Okay.
Yes.
I look at the shape of the ear. I look at the cartilage in the ear.
Okay.
That is how you tell
That is a
people
good
if it's the
one.
same thing. Some people go to nose, but noses can evolve over time. So can ears to a degree, but typically
Mhm.
your ear shape
Really
stays the same.
Yeah, and you
Yes.
can't see Jimmy's ears because he has the fro.
Convenient, huh?
The ears are hidden. Yes.
Mhm.
All right, we got to take a break. We've got our top list. We're going to do, it's an awesome one, baseball movies. We'll get to that coming up.
Tulsa's morning.
On top, I'm also going to hook you up with a 6-pack of Twisted Tea.
Oh.
Set right up front because nobody wants it. So
Yeah.
I grabbed a pack and you get
Yeah.
to take it home with
Again, you put
Twisted
zero
Tea.
effort into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could, and we'll make sure part of the Ford Truck Series continues. So I'd like to give it to my second place. His second isn't winning. So
All right.
Twisted Tea is a great beer fridge for guests.
Right.
item.
Well, congratulations, Lindsay. You got yourself some old mushed potatoes and some warm Twisted Tea for losing on Day Spa or Dispensary.
this says, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years because I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, slept with some woman, and almost immediately the guilt took over me. She has told me it's over, but I have to try. What can I do to get her to give our marriage a second chance? 918-460-KMOD. Bmms. Then whatever you think he should do to 82945. Let's entertain the idea. What are some things he could do? How about a vacation?
Ooh.
You and me,
Mm-hmm.
let's have a vacation. Let's go to some beautiful exotic place and talk out my inability to keep my penis in my pants.
Yeah.
Having kids usually fixes that
Some
situation.
Yeah.
that maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to do that.
Vacations are nice. Absolutely.
Can you work on a
But-
problem on a vacation, Lindsay?
I don't think so. Because
This
once
isn't a
you get
problem. This is a
back-
crack in the foundation.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because once you get back, everything's right there, Yeah.
What are some other
And-
things he could try?
I think he
Entertain the
begs,
idea.
goes
No
on
bad ideas.
hands and knees and
Begs?
begs. What do you want me to? I will do anything you want me to do.
Yeah. Horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody, right? And this is why. Because you want to fix it, you have to come up with ideas. Not me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I have to tell you how to fix your problem?
Mm-hmm.
Not just this, any scenario, if you have to go to the person and be like, tell me what I have to do to fix this, then you shouldn't be in it. It's a horrible way to get into a conversation with somebody to try and rectify a problem.
Mhm.
Because it means you don't know. You haven't even entertained ideas.
Right.
How about a candlelight dinner?
That's
It's not
good
enough.
and gravy and all, but the distractions there, man. You're not going to be able to enjoy your candlelight dinner. you're not going to be able to do much of anything fun, a vacation or anything like that, because, there's a giant elephant in the room.
Again, we're just trying to convince
Mm-hmm.
for a second chance.
Mm-hmm.
What about a spa day?
Sure. I'll go ahead and let you spend your money on me so I can go and feel better.
Yeah, is he
about
going to send
myself.
her on a spa day? I think he needs to go to her and definitely like he needs to know from her what she expects from him,
I don't think.
what he wants her to
Come
do.
on,
What-
Lindsay.
yeah,
Come
no.
on. Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
Come on,
her-
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her?
What
Don't
she
have sex with
wants him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to
Yeah.
an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea? Give her a hall pass.
There,
Give her
yeah.
an opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Mhm. And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has
It's
to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
yeah. Usually works.
Hey, usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted him what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good. How are y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. Just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time. So I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state. So I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on walk and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend.
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
you
took the
came
call
back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. And the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it
stupidity.
wasn't. No, it wasn't, though.
No. It was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back.
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity, trying to think I can change someone.
Right. Hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping. You were hoping he'd love you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. They have announced some of the games for the NFL.
Okay.
And the Chiefs will open the season against the Lions for Thursday night football.
Well, that's an easy win for them.
Apparently, the Chiefs haven't had the Detroit in Kansas City in 20 years.
Really?
Which seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
But so that's what that'll be. And then the first Monday night football game will be the Jets against Buffalo, which is a pretty exciting matchup if that's Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen for that game. So that's pretty exciting. All those games are going to get announced this evening, but they'll leak some out throughout the day to keep you teased because who's going to tune into the NFL Network? I watched it last night in a weird coincidence. Sitting on my back patio with my TV, and I was like, the Chiefs are on. So I just watched that while the kids were playing. I was texting my brother something, and he was like, oh, sorry, I'm watching the Chiefs on the NFL. Yeah, of course you are, because that's what we do as Chiefs fans.
So, like you said, the NFL is releasing its full regular season schedule tonight. The league announced several key matchups yesterday. The Miami Dolphins head to East Rutherford to play the New York Jets in the NFL's first ever Black Friday game, November 24th. It'll be streamed on Amazon Prime. Aaron Rodgers spent some time with the Dolphins during the holiday season last year as well. He led the Packers to a win in Miami on Christmas Day in a game that also saw Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa suffer a season-ending concussion. The New York Giants will travel to Philly to play the Eagles on Christmas Day. An AFC Championship game rematch takes place on New Year's Eve when the Cincinnati Bengals square off against the Kansas City Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. 2 changes are coming to the schedule. Teams have the chance to play twice on Thursday Night Football for the first time in league history. There's also no guarantee a team will get a primetime slot. The Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs, are set to visit the White House on June 5th. President Biden will welcome the team after it knocked off the Philadelphia Eagles earlier this year. The Chiefs are fresh off their second title in 4 years. Kansas City didn't make the trip to Washington, D.C. in 2020 due to the COVID pandemic. Damar Hamlin, the Buffalo Bills player who collapsed mid-game from cardiac arrest on January 2nd, announced Monday that 2 online fundraisers held for him have raised over $10 million, all of which he plans to give to his charity. His Chasing M's Foundation is dedicated to the development, health, and safety of youth through sports, engagement, activities, training, and programming, according to his website. The NBA's best players are being recognized for their stellar regular seasons. The league has announced the 2023 All-NBA teams.
Hooray!
Reigning MVP Joel Embiid highlights the All-NBA first team. The 76ers center is joined by Bucks forward Giannis Antetokounmpo and Celtics forward Jason Tatum, Thunder guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Mavericks guard Luka Doncic. The All-NBA second team is made up of the Nuggets center Nikola Jokic, Cavaliers guard Donovan Mitchell, and Warriors guard Steph Curry. Heat forward Jimmy Butler, Celtics forward Jaylen Brown. LeBron James highlights the All-NBA third team. When the Jets acquired Aaron Rodgers in a trade with the Packers last month, one of the talking points was that the Jets were likely to be playing a lot more nationally televised games this year than they played in recent seasons. Oh, excuse me, I already did that story. Major League Baseball is heading across the pond in 2024. According to Sports Illustrated, MLB is expected to send the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies to England for their annual London series of games. The division rivals have yet to make an official announcement, as plans are still being finalized. The league first hosted games in London during the 2019 season, and last year revealed plans to hold regular season games there as part of a long-term strategic partnership with the city in 2023, 2024, and 2026. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs are going to play at London Stadium next month.
Does that count for the regular season, like a win going towards championship and stuff like that? Okay.
And that is your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by Miller Lite, the original light beer.
It's supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm going to fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I
because
love snooping
don't-
around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right? Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up if you're having company come over.
Another one. Overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah.
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
Couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you show up at 6, 8, get out.
Mm-hmm. Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet.
Yeah, you don't
to look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it gives a vibe.
Why? What gives
Because you're
you that
nosy.
vibe?
You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm
That's what
talking
they're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to like entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right.
everything.
Or don't like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the bowl? Yeah, some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever, that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that. But now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No.
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah, I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like you said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still, you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No.
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so. Hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and like looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What, do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you have.
Down my nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth, right? If you walk into somebody's house,
if you're
and
a
it looks
hoarder,
like hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house, right?
No. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown
mile
off guard.
away. No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress. Their lack of showering.
Or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, right? I think absolutely.
But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever,
Yeah.
paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them, and hang out for a little bit. And I gotta go. I got it.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, like, I'm going to judge the food.
Mm.
So I'm not going to judge, like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. Good. You're right. Life happens,
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dressed for less. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I would think if you're hosting a dinner party, you would want to clean up.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But that's not necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight, we're having pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
days. Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car.
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
Or just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's
Cleanliness.
like cleanliness?
Probably, yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. And it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ting, 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 No. But if you're inviting people over, dinner party, or just to hang out and have a smoke sesh, you might want to just kind of pick up the bulk of
Smoke
things
sesh.
first.
You're so
right?
bougie. Like,
Yeah.
You're going over get high and you're like, man, the house was so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, yeah, if you gotta, you can't put your soda down or your water down on the table because it's littered with empty cans.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Right.
talking about, man.
Yeah.
Go get a damn trash bag.
But
Clear off the tables and it'll be fine.
Yes.
I'm not saying you have to run the vacuum.
Right.
All right. Just don't make people come in and be like, oh God. Oh God. And furthermore, Susan, if it smells a little bit, just spray something. Just spray something in the air. You don't want to walk into somebody's house and get hit with a brick wall of stink. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful too. Don't go crazy. Right? If you're unloading half a can of Lysol,
right. You're
you're
obviously
covering up a
something up.
smell.
Yeah.
Right?
Which will reveal itself in a
In
little
due
bit.
time.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
It smells like wildflowers and ass
Yeah. Is it Febreze?
Mhm.
and mold.
Febreze is literally advertised to cover up stink,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
which means you have a problem if there's stink in the
Yeah.
house. What about a toilet bowl that's got a pink ring in it?
I'm not judging that.
Gross.
It's pink mold.
Gross.
Yeah.
It's mold
Gross.
Yeah.
in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now, I mean, there's a difference between is there sitting urine or like, Mr. Hanky, is he taking
Skid
a little
marks.
swim right there?
There's some rubbing is racing.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little
Yeah,
bit.
but you didn't.
You didn't exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you may need a knife for. It's okay.
Bidet, dude. Bidet. Bidet.
Right. I get it. That cleans the skid marks off of your end, but I mean, this is down on the porcelain. I don't think it works like that.
Eat some fiber. Y'all had a show some time ago about well-endowed men who have trouble with the dating scene because of their genetic disposition. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to catch the whole show. Well, I'm not sure how to ask this, but are any of them still single? I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, pleasant on the eyes, and very capable of intelligent conversations. What are my choices?
What is going on here? Are they trying to get us to hook them up with the big dong man or what?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a man or woman.
Okay.
Right?
Is this person trying to get us to hook them up with somebody with a huge schlong? I don't, yeah.
It's conversations like this that create an illusion that every woman wants a gigantic dong. Vaginas are all different.
Right.
Some, that's terrifying.
Right.
Some, that's... Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. The phone number, 918-460-KMOD. That would be what you call to get qualified for Harley Days of May. And Angela Moses of Jinx heard the cue and is now in the running for a 100th anniversary Harley Davidson Dyna Wide Glide from Steel Horse Motorcycles, which is inside Oklahoma Outdoor World in Sapulpa. Every hour you have a chance to get qualified. Mel and DC every hour today because it's Thursday. So make sure you're listening. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Kendra Spade is celebrating her 25th porn star birthday today. You can see this exotic beauty in Birthday Kisses, Census Takers, Jekyll and Dad, and Oiled and Spoiled.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. I'll be out at Jameson's tonight. I mean, Angela just got qualified on the air. But if you can't get qualified on the air, come join me at Jameson's from 5 to 7. That's the 71st and 145th in Broken Arrow. And you can get signed up to get qualified instantly for the Harley Days of May.
On Thursdays at this time, we do a little thing called Top List. Let's see what we got for this week.
It's time for Big Man Morning Show's Top List. Random topics, randomly drawn with random results. Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with this week's Top List.
This week's top list is baseball movies. Top 5 baseball movies. Lindsay, what do you have for number 5?
Basketball. Taking the best of basketball and baseball. Putting them, smooshing them both together.
It's a stretch.
It's
It's
funny.
a giant stretch. It's not funny. It is not a good movie.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
yeah,
those
it was
guys, South Park guys, they make
Yeah.
good movies. Orgasmo was another good movie. I
didn't
swear to
see
God,
that
guys,
one.
13 or 14 more times of this crap, and I'm out of here.
yes. Carmen Electra, was that the...
I think so, yeah.
the love interest in that one. The kid on the Make-A-Wish. The movie is hilarious. Number 4 for me is The Sandlot.
You
Yeah.
play ball like a girl.
Yes, and with Wendy Peppercorn and Squints, and that is one of those movies that if it's on, I'm watching it, especially with the boys. My kids love that one too.
The sequel is is not as good, but it's
Didn't see it. Didn't know there was one.
Now you know.
But in high school, a girl I went to school with, she loved Benny, who ended up going into the pros in that movie.
Mhm.
And she had the hugest crush on him. And later on, as an adult, she actually ran into that guy at an airport.
Ouch.
And was extremely starstruck still. Anyway, number 3, Rookie of the Year. Gary Busey. Here's why it's on my list. Because in middle school, me and my neighbor got to go and be extras in that film and sit at Wrigley Field and be in the stands. We thought it was the coolest thing.
Yeah, were you in the movie?
I mean, yes.
So you never saw-
got to see ourselves in it,
Then
but
you
we
were-
were there.
You may
They
have,
were filming.
yeah, but you could have got cut out of it, is what I'm saying.
I mean, we were just extras in the stands. They just had to fill bodies.
Yeah, but you can see a scene and go, "That's where we were sitting."
Mm-hmm. but we couldn't see us.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just bodies in the stands somewhere.
Right.
Yeah. Number 2, A League of Their Own. There's no crying in baseball. Love it. Love that film. And that's another one. If it's on, I'm watching it.
Never seen it.
Really? Oh, I feel like that would be one that you would enjoy.
Why?
Tom Hanks, Rosie O'Donnell,
Why?
Madonna. I mean, it's good. There's good lines. You like Tom Hanks.
It's all right if you have a vagina. That's about
It's a pretty feminine empowerment movie.
Very much so.
And number 1 is Major League. 1 or 2, really. They're both hilarious. They're great. Wild Thing. And every time they play it, it's great. It's just a classic.
Top list, we're doing baseball movies. Gimpy, what do you have for number 5?
Coming in at number 5. Angels in the Outfield. Yes, with Christopher Lloyd and that kid that nobody remembers. But I remember watching it as a kid, and I could still watch it to this day and be happy, man. It's just a good movie. I'll come and hang out with you when the Angels win the pennant. That's what his POS dad says to him. So he prays and he prays and he's like, "Dear Lord, baby Jesus, can we just get the Angels to win?" And then, Christopher Lloyd, being the angel in this movie, comes down, helps the Los Angeles Angels take it all the way or whatever. And it's a good movie. Stands up. That's how you know that flaps his arms. That's how you know that the Angels are out there helping the baseball players. And
that kid, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Oh, that's who it was.
Yeah.
That's who it was. Number 4, bench warmers. Corbin looked at me like, what? What the hell? I've never bench warmers. It's got Rob Schneider, David Spade. It's got
God damn it.
Napoleon Dynamite. It's a baseball movie, bro. It is all about baseball. All right. So
and Nick Swardson.
Yes. It is a stupid stoner comedy about baseball. I love it. Old Napoleon Dynamite's out there in center field playing with his butterflies, not paying any attention. They all suck, but somehow
13% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's a good movie. No. Maybe not in your opinion, but I like it.
Not just me.
Well, yours and everybody else's opinion doesn't count because this is my top list, not yours nor theirs. So number 4 is bench warmers. Number 3 is going to be Major League. I mean, I remember watching that as a kid, and it was a good movie, and it's still funny. Willie Mays Hayes, da-da-da-da. Number 2 is going to be The Sandlot. Lindsay just got done talking about it, so I don't have to go much further on that one. But number one is the original OG Bad News Bears. Not the one with Billy Bob Thornton. Nay. We're talking Walter Matthau. Kids drinking beers. Oh, yeah. And I remember watching that. It was a TV series in the early and mid 80s. I remember watching that as a kid and loved it. And I watched this movie and was like, this is awesome. One of the probably most racist rants I've ever heard come from a 10-year-old in my life is part of that movie. And it's so out there, but yet awesome movie nonetheless.
All right, top list baseball movies. Number 5 for me, I have Bad News Bears. Buttermaker.
Yeah.
Buttermaker. Walter Matthau, the original, right? For sure. Total good baseball movie.
Billy Bob Thornton one's all right, but it does not do justice compared to the original.
Number 4, 42. Movie about Jackie Robinson. Great movie. Nostalgia. History. 100% about baseball. Not like The Sandlot. Number 3, The Natural. Tree gets struck by lightning. They make a baseball bat out of it. He hits home run. It's a fantastic movie. The sound carries on that they play that sound in baseball games.
Right.
When people hit home runs. So for sure, The Natural. Number 2, Bull Durham. 100% about baseball, minor league baseball, with a love story attached to it.
Right.
Story of a guy moving from the majors down, a guy trying to move up to the majors, the little people that hanger honors.
Right.
that go on with some of these small town clubs, bus life, all that stuff that goes along with it.
Mhm.
The guys in the trenches trying to make it happen.
Right.
It's a fantastic movie all around.
Wearing ladies' garters for good luck.
To calm him down,
And
yes.
ladies' underwear. Yeah.
Yes. And then number one, for sure, without a doubt, only the first one is Major League.
Okay.
It is a fantastic movie. You probably could do one or two back and forth, but
yeah,
Major League, it's funny. It has attitude, right? It gives hope that anybody can play.
Right.
Right? Because that's what these guys are. They're just trying to fill this team with these guys that can't play or aren't good so they can sell the team, so she can sell the team. Willie Mays Hayes, man.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
Where do you think you're going? About 90 feet?
I remember when the second one came out in theaters, I hadn't yet seen the first one. I was in elementary school and my cousin wanted to go and my aunt was like, all right, I'll take everyone. Let's go see Major League 2. And I loved it so much. We went back home and we watched Major League. So I had seen them in reverse order and always just when they're on, those are sit down, let's watch.
They're fun movies.
Yes, they are hilarious.
Somebody texted and they said, Corbin, what about Field of Dreams, Mr. Iowa? One, it's not a baseball movie.
Right.
Baseball is in it.
Mm-hmm.
There's some baseball facts, but that is a story about a dad and son.
Right.
So I don't think The Sandlot is a baseball movie. It's about a coming of age where they happen to be trying to get a ball back from playing baseball.
Right, right.
So for me, that's not a baseball movie. Moneyball, dude, that's fantastic. I debated putting that one on my list.
Is that Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Jonah Hill. It's a interpretation of a real story that happened with the Oakland A's.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fascinating. The main character that Brad Pitt plays is still involved in baseball today.
Mm-hmm.
I had For the Love of the Game with Kevin Costner.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
It's a good game. I almost put Mr. Baseball on there. Tom Selleck, where he goes to play in Japan.
Hey, you got any naked pictures of your wife? No, I do.
Yeah. Somebody for the How the World's Loving the Game, not on anyone's list. Field of Dreams. Yeah, there's some good. Somebody texting this, and I love this too. Hey, man, if Die Hard is a Christmas movie, then Warriors is a baseball movie. They got the baseball figures gang in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone has said number one, Angels in the Outfield, based purely on nostalgia.
Yeah.
Field of Dreams, Bull Durham, For the Love of the Game, Benchwarmers.
Yeah, it's my person right there.
The Natural. My computer crashed. No love for Field of Dreams. I thought the IO connection would make it for Corbin. What?
It's by association, man. Guilt by association. You're from there. You should love that goddamn movie.
I've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Field of Dreams.
Yes, multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happens every time I go. Yep, this looks exactly like where they filmed it. There is nothing great about it.
You don't break out a ball and bat and play a little round right there?
One time I went, you weren't allowed to get on the field.
Oh.
The other time I went, they had harvested the corn, so
just ruined everything.
Which happens.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just barren, and then you go like, oh, there's where the edge of the field would be.
Okay.
And now they do that game there. Well, I don't think they're doing it this year, but they've done the game there, which is super cool. Yeah. But they don't play it on that field. They had to build a separate stadium.
Right, to house
stadium.
Yeah.
So now what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're not even using, you're just getting to say you're in Iowa. And by the way, it ain't in the middle, it is in the middle of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
You take a gravel road,
yeah.
or you did, to get there.
Right, I'm sure it's paved now and there's highway access and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Gimpy, best racist rant from a 10-year-old on the Bad News Bears. Don't you play Call of Duty?
Yeah, but this
plenty
is
of racist 10-year-olds on there.
Yeah, this is a lot worse though.
Trouble with the Curve. That's a good movie. It's a Clint Eastwood movie about him near the end of his career as a scout.
Right.
And Amy Adams is in that, and Justin Timberlake. And Justin Timberlake is a scout as well. Kind of falls for Amy Adams's character. She is the daughter of Clint Eastwood, who's losing his vision, and
yeah, I seen parts of that, and I was like, okay. I had to turn it. It just wasn't grabbing me.
Yeah. Little Big League, Mr. 3000, Bernie Mac. Yes. All good choices. There are many baseball movies that would fit the bill. All right. We got to take a break. We'll be back.
The Big Mad Morning Show.
All seems so weird. Like
when a body's dead,
Yeah.
they don't take it to the hospital.
I beg to differ. They took my mom to the hospital.
Did they?
St. John's.
But were they trying to save her on the way?
She was already dead. She was dead.
The two experiences.
Dead.
The two experiences that I have had with dead people who have died in a home.
Yeah.
The ambulance comes, they don't take the body.
Yeah, when my mom died, I got the call. We was on 21st, and they lived on 21st and Sheridan. Anyhow, so I get to the house, and the ambulance is backed up in the driveway, and they got her on the gurney, putting her in the back of the ambulance, taking her to the hospital. She's already pronounced dead.
It feels like an extra trip to take them to the hospital.
I don't know.
Well, that's where the morgue
is not at the hospital. The hospital has a morgue.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how it works out.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with my dad, too. My dad died at the house, and they picked him up, took him to the hospital, and that's where we got to say our final goodbyes.
Yeah,
So,
and I don't know. It's like, do you check? Maybe they check the ID. It's like, are they a organ donor? Maybe that's why you take the body to the hospital. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how that works out.
And so, again, I'm not an EMT. So, like, you're an EMT, they die, you go, all right, where's their wallet? I got to check their ID to see if they're an organ donor. How does that work?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think you let the people at the hospital deal with it. Like, we're just here to drop the body off. Y'all figure it out.
And is there a code? Like, they call in? Like, do they do lights? If they're taking a dead body to the hospital, do they run code to the hospital?
Right, lights and sirens and the whole nine?
Yeah. I would think not. It's
Probably
not an
not.
emergency.
Right.
Exactly.
But if they're an organ donor, time is of the essence on those things.
Right.
They have a shelf life.
Man busted with a ton of child porn. So police in Florida.
Was he a cross-dresser?
You should see the mugshot. It's a doozy. Police got a tip in January about some child sexual abuse material being uploaded to the internet at this address.
It's the Crypt Keeper.
They check it out. And that's where they come. They find a 17-year-old Paul Zytel at his home. They searched the house. They found more than 220,000 printed images, weighing in at 2,600 pounds. This cat had a literal ton of child porn strode throughout his house in boxes on boxes on boxes in his garage, in his office and in his bedroom. Obviously, they arrested the guy. He's in on a $250,000 bond.
It's Herbert.
You boys like pop
It's Herbert from Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Herbert the pervert.
You can take your shirt off if you want to.
Attorney accused of stealing settlements to cover drugs and porn.
Was it child porn?
An attorney suspended by the Florida Supreme Court is accused of taking settlement money from his personal injury clients. Deputies say 44-year-old Christopher Reynolds used the money on items including drugs, prostitutes, ride sharing. I don't know if that's in there. I don't know. And adult websites.
Just to show that he's not a total deviant.
Yeah.
He's responsible.
Yeah.
He takes an Uber when he goes out.
Yeah.
Come on.
Drugs, prostitutes, DoorDash, and adult websites. Drugs, prostitutes, bespoke, adult websites. Why did they throw that in there? It's so weird. Detectives say at least 16 clients lost more than $850,000. They believe there's more victims. He could face as much as 30 years in prison if convicted on all charges.
Damn.
Congratulations. I got good news. I got bad news. What's the good news? We won.
Woohoo.
What's the bad news? Ooh, there's no money left.
Sweet potato cracks 2011 cold case leads to Massachusetts man's arrest.
Is that like the informant's name?
They call me Sweet Tater.
Hey, man, don't talk to Sweet Potato.
No, the Massachusetts police made a pretty spectacular break.
Oh, don't.
Yeah, Friday, in a decade-old case murder thanks to an actual sweet potato. They arrested the suspect on Friday in a February 27th, 2011 shooting death of Todd Lampley. Cops found the alleged killer's DNA on a sweet potato left at the scene. Yeah.
You don't like sweet potatoes?
No, it's the DNA left on a sweet potato.
Yeah. So
Good Lord, dude. That's not what they're for.
Davaris Hampton of Mash P was arraigned Monday in Barnstable
Mashed
District Court.
pea, mashed potatoes.
Mash P. Yeah. Charges of murder, assault, and battery with a deadly weapon. He's 40 years old. He pled not guilty, was ordered to be held without bail. Police found 3 shell casings, a black cell phone, and a sweet potato with a hole through it at the scene. Investigators reportedly found his DNA on the sweet potato.
Pause.
He used it.
There's only 2 reasons that sweet tater has a hole in it.
You don't put holes in potatoes.
You do if you want to stick something in it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I am not aware, and it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, of any delicacy made with pomme de terre, apples of the earth,
Mm-hmm.
that have a hole in it. Now, twice baked potatoes, sure.
Yeah.
You scoop everything out, make the mashed taters with everything, put it back in,
Mm.
crisp it up, right?
Mhm.
Delicious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That's about it. I can't think of another, and I've never seen that done with sweet potatoes. Not that I couldn't. The skin's not as dense as a regular potato.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So picture this. He
Mhm.
holds the potato. My mouse has the potato, or
Everybody who's watching at
Mhm.
home, yeah.
he used the sweet potato as a silencer.
Yeah. Yeah. Got it from a TV show.
Yes, he sure
Mhm.
did.
Oh.
In court, prosecutors recalled a scene in the hit HBO series The Wire
Right.
when a sweet potato
right.
was used to mask
that
a
show.
gunshot.
I think a sweet potato is the worst potato to use as a silencer
Oh, okay. Say
because
more.
it's weird shape. All right. Most
do have
sweet
weird
taters
shapes,
are
yeah.
oddly shaped. If you want a good tater to silence your pistol, you're going to use like a regular bacon potato, right? Something large, girthy,
No.
No.
not something that's all weird and jagged looking.
Here's why I say a sweet potato makes a great silencer, because of its odd shape. They're so weird. Most times you have sort of a skinny side to it and then the wider side to it. So you have kind of like a handle and then the part for the gun to go through.
I would go with the density of the material on the inside of a regular potato or like a russet.
Minor
A
points.
russet, like,
russet
yeah,
potato.
is like it's not as dense as the interior of a sweet potato.
Mm.
But to me, the amount of work you have to do,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
I mean-
holding the tater up to the gun and then pulling the trigger. I'm afraid something happened and end up blowing a thumb off.
yes,
I would be drilling a hole
That's
in said
what I'm
tater
saying.
and then
Yeah.
slide it over the barrel.
What? And then you got to make sure you have the right drill bit.
Right.
This feels like a lot. Just take a 2-liter bottle, like he did in The Shooter.
Right. Or an old oil filter. You get that from a lot of zombie video games.
Right.
Mm.
Or maybe sleep on it
And they come back
and then decide if it's
"Ah,
still something you want to go
I
after.
don't want to shoot this person now.
Huh.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew.
He's doing
I'm so happy that was what you were getting ready to demonstrate.
Uh-huh.
I literally thought I was witnessing someone's last moment on radio. I was like, go ahead, girl. See what you got. We all control our own destiny.
Right. Right.
Why didn't you stop her? Why? You tell me not to intervene.
Right? Here on the Big Man Morning Show, we let them hang themselves.
Yeah.
Woman busted with vagina meth. This started off as a typical traffic stop last week where police had stopped Anthony Peza and his girlfriend Tiffany Chapman. They asked them, hey, y'all got any drugs in the car? And they're like, nah, man, we're good. They're like, all right, well, you're going to have to get out of the car so we can search it. And they're like, okay. So they get out of the car and the deputies start searching the car. Well, in the car, while they're searching, they found all kinds of stuff. They found paraphernalia, baggies, scales. They found another bag that had several different prescription bottles in it with the labels removed, which is not good.
Not like that.
So while they're searching the car, Tiffany's like, hey, I've got meth in my muff. And they're like, huh? And they're like, she's like, yeah, you might want to come get this. So they call a female deputy out.
I believe the audio sounded like this. I think you want to come get this.
So they call a female officer out, and she ends up retrieving 10.8 grams of meth from the woman's box. And
glove box.
They ended up busting both of them for the same thing. They both got busted for trafficking meth. They both got busted for possession of marijuana and paraphernalia. And they are both sitting in the pokey right now.
I know some of you are thinking, did she get any breaks because she let them know she had illegal contraband inside her muff? Probably not. You're supposed to tell them.
Yeah, because if you go into the jail with it, that's an extra charge.
Viral video shows car dealer peeing on woman's ID. This happens in the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Police there are looking into a viral video that appears to show a car dealership urinating on a woman's driver's license. In a Facebook post, the victim said she left her ID at a used car dealership in Kenosha over the weekend. A few hours later, she was home eating cheese and then was horrified to see a video of someone peeing on it making the rounds on social media. It's unclear if anyone will be held accountable. On a positive note, the dealership wants to offer the victim a free car. Yeah. She apparently was trying to buy a car, changed her mind, called and said, I've left my ID. I'll send you $5. When you get the $5, will you mail me my ID?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, yeah, we'll mail it.
Uh-huh.
And then it shows them saying the name and everything, full stream. The video's on our thing, full stream onto this woman's ID. I am no expert in the automotive industry. Lindsay, for sure, in the room is the automotive expert. Her husband works at a dealership. I know Gimpy has worked at a dealership.
Mm-hmm.
So I am by far not the expert. I will, however, say I think their career is over.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, God, I hope so.
Definitely.
If you get to keep your job after pissing on
Side
something.
glide from Steel Horse Motorcycles, just inside Oklahoma Outdoor World off Route 66 in Sapulpa. Thanks to Steel Horse Motorcycles for helping make Harley Days of May possible. Joining us in the studio right now is a longtime friend of the show and pretty good dude overall, I think. I think almost everybody would agree with me, and that's Rick Horton from Cancer Sucks. Hey, buddy, how are you, man?
I got a few haters out there.
Yeah?
Not very many, though. Probably not as many as you.
Yeah, you definitely are on a better trajectory than I am. Dude, congratulations. Another success round.
It's crazy. I don't know where time went, but it's gone, man. And here we are. This is actually the 25th year. And I found out by accident that this is our 25-year anniversary of Cancer Sucks. I started doing math, which I'm really slow at. And all of a sudden, I'm like, whoa, 25 years. That COVID deal messed us up. You know, it kind of threw off my math skills quite a bit. So
Lindsay was like, how do you know Rick? And I said, I think I've known Rick over 20 years for sure.
Yeah. Well, this is our 19th year for the car show. And I mean, I know you. What birthday party was it that I went to downtown when you turned like
I don't even remember
or something maybe?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's
that is a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I remember when you guys used to do that festival.
Festival, yeah.
Yeah, the music festival.
Right.
In the very beginning.
Right.
You would do it, I think it was at a bar near TU. If I'm not
Curly's.
Was it Curly's was the first one?
Curly's is where Elgin is now.
Yeah. Yeah. So I've known Rick a long time, and it just shows how important this organization is to you, because it's just longevity, and you dedicate all your time to this, don't you?
Right. It's just I describe it as a hobby that kind of got out of control, but it's okay because it's a hobby that got out of control and keeps me out of trouble at the same time. So.
Yeah. And this is, as you said, you've been doing this a long time, but it's the 19th year for Handlebars and Hot Rods,
right?
Which is crazy to think about,
right? And even
as well.
if COVID wouldn't have messed us up, we'd have been doing our 20th year because we skipped the 1 year. So it's our, it's kind of hard to figure out if you want to sit down and think about it. But it's we skipped a year because of COVID, so it's 19. But normally it would have been 20 if it wouldn't have been for that little fiasco.
Yeah, and so the thing that I really like about you and your mindset and Cancer Sucks in general is there's no love lost on an event, which means you will gladly evolve an event, or you'll gladly say goodbye to an event if you don't want to do it anymore. and that's, some people dig in on things, but this is an example of you've evolved handlebars and hot rods. Every year you add something a little different, maybe change something, and this year the same thing, right?
Right. We when we started out, we were the first organization, group, however you want to categorize it, to do a poker run from a casino. We were the first people ever to tap a keg at Cherokee Casino in the parking lot. They did the first annual Handlebars and Hot Rods poker run from Cherokee Casino when it was a tent. Before it was a big deal, before it was Hard Rock, it was a tent, a bingo tent.
Yeah.
And we were right outside there with our own setup, and they got permission to serve beer on that property for the first time for our event. And at that point, we had 1,000 people coming in doing the poker run. It was a big deal. It was a really cool deal, and it's still a cool deal. We just, like you said, every year things change, and at this point, we've kind of let the poker run part of it go off to the wayside a little bit because we feel like it kind of ran its course. And I'm always looking for something that's a little bit different from what everyone else does. So we're doing the car show in downtown Bixby this year, which is where I've lived since I've moved back to Tulsa for 25 years. And they've redone downtown. It's a really cool setup. And so we get to bring our car show home. And then we added back the Cancer Sucks cruise following the car show. We're going to do a 25-mile loop from Bixby to Glenpool, down Jinx Main Street, back to Riverside Drive, then back into downtown Bixby. And that is because Cancer Sucks started out, the first event we ever did before Handlebars and Hot Rods was called the Cancer Sucks Ride, Cancer Sucks Cruise. And at that time, there was a motorcycle dealership, Easy Riders of Tulsa, on 71st, right across from Target, there at 169. And we just did in conjunction with their 1-year anniversary birthday party, we did a Cancer Sucks ride. And we just paid admission. We did a big loop around Tulsa, came back and had a party. But that's how it all started. And all the proceeds from that were donated to Cancer Treatment Centers of America and their research department. And they came down and represented themselves because at that point, we were not even a nonprofit yet.
Right. You were still trying to get your legs.
Yeah, we were still trying to figure it out. So anyway, so this Cancer Sucks cruise kind of goes back to our roots with that, and a way for us to still involve the biker community that doesn't always want to do a car show. They'd rather be riding, and I get that. So this is our way of, still being able to involve the biker community by doing a cruise / parade, whatever you want to call it. And it's free to do that. We would like donations in the way of a unwrapped toy that we'll be donating all the toys from that to the St. Francis Toy Closet. And that's, like I said, another spin on what we've been doing. The actual proceeds from the show itself, which is a paid event, all those proceeds will be donated to the Children's Health Foundation, which is based at the OU Pediatric Hospital in Norman. And we have donated over $600,000 to that facility at this point from events just like this.
Yeah.
So that's one of the coolest things that we've done, is being able to see those totals after all these years and think about how much money that really is.
It's impressive. And as I was saying, you guys you're water, man. Like you'll go and adjust to whatever you need to, but like water, you can be quite ferocious with your donations, and $600,000 is an impressive feat for Cancer Sucks. We're talking with Rick Horton. The 19th annual Handlebars and Hot Rods is going down in Bixby. It's $20 to enter in advance, or $25 the day of the show. Let's talk about what kind of car can if I have an Audi Q7. Can I bring that?
Yes, please bring it on. It's kind of, somebody referred to us as money whores one time, and it's kind of like
it's a compliment, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care what it is. We had a guy, we had a rain out one year at one of our shows, and it wasn't really a rain out because we never canceled the show. I tell people I retired from the post office. It's rain, sleet, or snow, we're going to have the show. That's just the way it is. But I had a guy that he was like one of half a dozen people that showed up at a show with a little Ford Fiesta one day. And it was a new car. He was proud of it. It's cool. So I convinced him to spend the $20 and enter the show, and I'd give him one of these really cool trophies. So in the event that it's moist on Saturday, I know moist is a fun word. Anyway, in that event, you can still get a trophy. You can still come out. You can still support the cause. We're going to be there. We're going to do the show. We're going to have fun. We're going to raise money for cancer research. No reason you can't do the same thing. Bring an umbrella, bring a tent, bring your, if you need it. It's been 60% chance of rain all week and it barely sprinkled. So, don't count on that. Just count on being in Bixby on Saturday morning.
It's about raising money for Cancer Sucks to help the fight against cancer, and just anybody showing up. If you win, great. And if you're a purist, okay, we want you there too.
Exactly.
But ultimately, it is all about the camaraderie that you make with people in the community and this amazing organization with Cancer Sucks. Like I said, all the proceeds are going to benefit the Children's Health Foundation. $20 in advance, $25 the day of the show. And are you going to do the ride, Gimpy?
Oh, yeah. As a matter of fact, I am. I do it every year. I think I've been doing it for at least the past 8 years, I think, every year. Haven't missed one yet. So I'm really looking forward to riding in this one as well, because it's different. It's usually a poker run. I really enjoyed the scavenger hunt we had a couple of years ago, Rick. But this is going to be fun. Fun little parade around town.
Yeah, thank you.
And there's raffles too, right?
Yeah, we got raffles. And one of the things I forgot to mention real quickly is the Children's Health Foundation has sponsors as well as any other nonprofit. They have a sponsor that is matching everything that we raise during this show will be matched. So your $20 donation just became a $40 donation for pediatric cancer research.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Cool. Yeah.
Well, and there's got to be a little, not relief, because I know your mindset, like it's every dollar is worth it. So, but to have somebody already in that's going to be, writing a check feels pretty good, right?
Yeah. The worst thing about doing Cancer Sucks, for me, the worst thing, and probably the only negative for me about doing Cancer Sucks stuff is having to ask people for sponsorship money, because it takes money to do this. And even though the first 5 to 7 years that I did this, I funded it all myself, there comes a point where you got to look at the paper and go, wow, this just doesn't make sense. And I've got to go out and ask some people for some money. And I don't ask for jack. So it's really hard for me to do that part of it. But I've got awesome sponsors that help support all of our overhead expenses so that when we do an event like this, every penny from this event will be donated to cancer research. Not 70% of it, not 50% of it, every penny. And there's not a lot of people that do that.
Your family is always very present in the events. So when you see them, it's not uncommon to see you or your wife or anybody in your family or the Cancer Sucks family that have been around a long time helping out Cancer Sucks. Have you got to see the money at work? Have you got to see that experience of maybe them in the lab or talk to a scientist or a family that has benefited from it?
We have, that's crazy because after a while, you do get to see those things. And, in the beginning, it's just that feel good deal. You feel good about doing an event and raising money and that's good. At this point, like I said, for the Children's Hospital, we've donated over $600,000. They called us a couple of years ago and said, hey, you guys broke the $300,000 mark and we put a plaque up on the wall. We'd like for you to come see it. Keep in mind, this is at the OU Children's Hospital. It's a big deal. It's one of the best best research facilities and hospitals for children in the world. We go up there, they give us a tour. They go into this waiting room, and there's literally a 3-foot by 3-foot sign that says supported by Cancer Sucks. It's like all that work came into that one moment of street cred that we just got.
Yeah.
Because who can say they've got a whole waiting room in the children's ward that is dedicated to the support that we've given them for research.
Right. And the origins of Cancer Sucks, it was never intended to have that moment brought to you. right? It was always about just giving money over to try and help find a solution for cancer.
Right.
And so it had to be a sobering moment or like a really crazy moment for you to see that, because you probably thought it was going to be like a little 1x5 plaque, like not very big.
We're going to go up there. We're going to go through the motions and then we're going to say thank you. And that's cool. And we'll be done. We had no idea it was a billboard inside the building.
And you see this giant sign that embodies your mom and all the blood, sweat, tears, and dollars you personally and your family personally has put in. That had to have been incredibly emotional moment.
Very emotional, because not only does it say cancer sucks, but it says in memory of Donna Holland White.
Oh,
so I'm like, oh God, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't sit here for this long. I'd rather go see a kid in the hospital room than have to stare at this for a minute. Because it was very emotional, but like at the same time, we were all so proud of it. I mean, that's just, as you know me personally, it's never been about Rick. I don't care if anybody in the world knows who I am. It doesn't matter. At that moment, I was like, Rick was cool with that, that recognition,
Well, everyone should know you, because we need more Ricks.
You need more
World.
Ricks. I don't know if that's a t-shirt.
Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah, I know your mom would have loved that moment, and she definitely would have loved Handlebars and Hot Rods.
Thank you.
And it's congratulations on the 19th year. If you guys want to know more, you can look them up on Facebook, all the normal places you would find Cancer Sucks information. We'll put a link from our Facebook page. It's $20 advance, 25 day of show for the 19th annual Handlebars and Hot Rods. This year it's going to be in downtown Bixby. All the proceeds going to the Children's Health Foundation. There'll be a cruise that is free, but we'd like you to make a donation so we can get them another big plaque and see them cry. And so make sure
nobody saw that.
Yeah, so make sure you support the 19th annual Handlebars and Hot Rods. Man, congratulations on another year, friend, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you. I never could have done it without KMOD. You guys rock.
Thank you.
We'll
take a break and we'll be back.
Tulsa's Morning Show. The Big Mad Morning Show. The assault continues next. 97.5 KMOD.
It was this morning that in an interview with Bam Margera's family, he left a crazy message to them, and apparently they played it, and he's on the run.
Really?
Yeah.
Like he admitted legit he is on the run, running from
the police.
Yeah, with a girl, her kid, and meth.
Some other girl.
Yeah, some other girl.
Yeah.
We're going to run out of meth eventually, but okay.
And my thing is like, come on, man, what you're facing isn't that crazy. You didn't rob a bank.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like you would be going to prison for a long time.
Right. It was assault, right?
Yeah, yes.
In a sense, yeah.
But it would be knocked down pretty far.
Yeah.
If he even stuck, right?
But the thought of doing time in the big house makes people just zoom.
Yeah, except it probably wouldn't be the big house.
No, it'd be a little house.
Yeah.
County house.
And so like you would probably would help. And you're just like treating it like you're Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah. Right. With a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
That's something Bonnie had. But like you're just running like, come on, don't do this.
He's going to get caught up. He is too recognizable to not be caught up somewhere. You know what I'm saying? If we were here, let's say we're having lunch at Sam's Southern Eatery, and Bam sitting there eating some of that delicious fried shrimp or whatever.
It's funny you bring that up because Lindsay and I just this morning, my wife flew out of town yesterday for some work. And in the airport, she sees one of the ladies from Real Housewives of Orange County. And she's like, is this Vicky? And I'm like, sure. Because I watch it occasionally with my wife a lot. And so Lindsay does her stealth, sleuthing and finds out she's got family here.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like somebody is going to be like, hey, man.
Yeah, that's Bam.
That's Bam.
Side note, Pippi Longstockings is moving to Tulsa. Just thought I'd let you know.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
The gal who played Pippi Longstockings in the 90s movie, Erin something another, I think that's her name. I had seen it on the Facebook. She went and visited the Outsiders House Museum, posted a picture of it and says, I'm so excited to move to Tulsa, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, that's cool. Pippi Longstockings, huh? Totally deserve that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You know better. She gets passes. You know better.
I'm just figuring while we're talking about actors and
Tammy
actresses.
Aaron?
Here.
Is that her name?
Yeah, that's your name. Tammy Aaron.
You had your chance 15 minutes ago to bring up that name and put her on a list.
That's true.
Right.
So
She would've been
now
excellent.
you're getting finger shamed
Oh,
for Leroy Jenkins. For shame.
How often do I
Your
Leroy
atonement is going to be
Jenkins?
big.
How often do I Leroy Jenkins? Come on. Not that often.
Dude. Okay. But you may do a look. This is a complete
This is
Leroy
full-blown.
Jenkins.
Drag that drink.
Yeah.
Sound.
So much, in fact, I don't even know what to do now. That was a giant Leroy.
Yeah. Well, you might just be able to see Pippi in town somewhere. But yeah, dead Jerry Springer.
I wouldn't even know Pippi Longstocking if she came up to me and said, I'm Pippi Longstocking.
Really? You never
Pigtails
would,
sticking
huh?
Unless she has the pigtails.
Uh-huh.
She has aged a little bit since her role as Pippi Longstocking.
She's still
but
adorable.
She sure is.
I mean, I don't know how recent this picture is, but
What's her name?
Tammy Aaron.
Aaron. Tammy with an I and one M.
I'm just looking at the people. Why is ABBA coming up? Pippi, because it's a book. For those who don't know, it's a book.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she did the New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking, and in '88, that was one of the movies that she did.
Tammy?
Yeah.
One M and an I, and then Aaron. E-R-I-N.
Yeah, she looks. Whoa.
She's 48.
Yeah, she is.
She's
Yeah,
from
she
Wheaton,
is.
Illinois, originally.
She has changed since her Pippi days.
Yeah. What is I don't know what's happening.
Did I throw a whole wrench in your system with
Yeah.
Pippi
Yeah.
Longstockings?
You-
My bad.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing?
Why are you commenting on her page, Mr. I don't do social media?
Because I'd seen that she was moving, and I was like, "That's awesome! I'd love to have you on and talk to you about
About what?
being Pippi Longstocking."
About what?
And why are you in Tulsa? Why
About
did you
what?
move here?
What have
Why?
you been doing
What-
since 1988?
I can tell you, she did Disconnect in 2010.
It would be the shortest interview of all time. I'm
Says
sure
you-
she's a fantastic
You don't
individual.
know that.
What was it like to have coat hangers in your pigtails?
Exactly. You might learn some things about her.
About what? Get Danny Boy on! Don't
Yeah.
get her!
He's old news, man. He's been in town long enough.
Shooting your shot. Get out of here.
Hey, why not?
That felt self-serving.
It's got a thing for redheads.
It is what it is.
I don't even know what's happening. All right, Jerry Springer's
Oh, Pippi.
dead.
Oh, Pippi.
Redheads and beards.
Hit the button.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hotel guest wakes up to man.
I'm a sailor, hey, and I lost my leg. Climbing up the top sails, I lost my leg.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. Time to find out what everybody learned. Lindsay, what'd you learn today?
Well, thanks to Gimpy, I learned a new way to talk dirty to my husband, and I wonder how Cum Coomer spec on my Niddick will land with him tonight. And also, if not music, Corbin was practicing something on his violin.
Dude, we shouldn't waste all those in one day.
For real. Just
Gimpy, what'd you learn today?
blew the whole Coomer spec right there. I learned from Tittles to F-holes. Things got pretty racy this morning. And I also learned that people put green beans on their baked potato. Weird.
I learned peanut butter doesn't keep Gimpy from sucking.
Mm-hmm.
And I also learned Gimpy's not sure what the F-hole's for. Maybe decoration? Corbin saying, make sure that dishwasher's loaded right.
It's Lindsay, stop tracking my cycle.
This is Gimpy, and I'm sorry.
Thank you. Far too kind.
Ready?
Let's go. Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Cook and roll.
Assaults happening in hotel rooms.
Okay.
And that they are on the rise.
Really?
Because of the use of the electronic key, specifically women, happening to women, right?
Mhm.
And like all the things you're supposed to do to like safeguard yourself. Some say like buy a rubber stopper,
Okay.
right? Door stopper, but put it on the back side of the door. So if someone gets in, they can't push it open.
Right.
They sell aftermarket things to put on doors. Things like even the moment you get into a room as a woman, probably anybody, I've always done this, is you do the latch every time,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
no matter what.
Yeah.